How y'all been, man? It's been Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen each other in a while. How you been? How you been?
I've been good. How have y'all been?
Good, man. I can't
Taking
complain.
care of the household. It's
This
been
great,
sickness around here.
it's great winter weather we have here. Got a high of what's our high today? 29 degrees.
Dude, the other night it was 58 degrees out.
I know, bro.
That's
I
what's crazy.
just, I just knew the
That's what's
world was
crazy.
gonna end. I just knew the world was gonna end. Like,
Woke up, it was 20 something.
Yeah, it's like you get comfortable, and that's why that 50-degree weather, while it's nice as hell, it's also like a tease. You feel like you close to the end, and we just getting started. So
Hmm.
that's the hard part, but it could be worse, I guess.
Yeah.
Not too many complaints.
Happy New Year's
Dry.
Eve, by the way.
Happy New
Happy
Year's
New
Eve.
Year's Eve. Try. You asked how, or you asked about the holidays. One thing I think we all can agree on. Would it be okay if, personally, I never see the Lions play on another Christmas moving forward? Because knowing that they can ruin your Thanksgiving, also have your Christmas ruined too. I just wasn't a fan of that. I was not a joy to be around after that performance. I didn't want to talk to anybody, so I walked away from that game saying, you know what? If this is the last time they play on Christmas, I would not be mad.
Yeah.
Curious what y'all think.
Oh
And
yeah. I mean, I don't let them fuck my mood up like that. But yeah, it just like the whole day just is a drag because then everybody asking you about what happened to the Lions. Like, bro, like you saw the game just like I did. What the
yeah,
fuck? Like,
yeah, no, like
like so,
you need to teach me your ways because my whole day is for sure ruined. Drag, especially after that performance. Like it wasn't something you could walk away like, oh, I'm proud. They played. Nah, like
yeah,
that was just like I wasted at least 3 hours I'll never get back because both teams played like ass. It was like neither
yeah.
neither team really wanted to win. So ah,
The
that was
positive, I was at my aunt's house and we were chasing Poppy around the house the whole time because it's a new place and she wanted to go exploring. So I
yeah,
missed. I think I only watched one quarter of that game in total. Like I missed the second, third, and fourth pretty much. And I was like, you know
Oh
what? That's
damn.
probably for the best. Probably for the
Yeah,
yeah.
best.
Honestly,
yeah.
Drew, you did not miss a lot. Um, Man, I know we've talked about the year. They have one more game to go, but it's like
Who cares?
I
Yeah,
did
tank
actually.
at this point.
Honestly, I read that they could have a pick as high as 12. That's kind of surprising to
Shit,
me.
I'd take that.
But Dan Campbell doesn't appear to want to rest the starters. I mean, I'm not surprised by that, but also at the same time, I just
Shit, after the year we've had and after last year, we should rest them all. So there's no ACL tears that linger on the next year.
Right.
yeah, I more so wanted to ask y'all and pivot a little bit. Honestly, obviously, we all know how we feel about the Lions, and we'll talk about them more as time goes on. But I wanted to ask y'all about fantasy football and
Hmm.
just a quick, I guess, if there's any new favorite players y'all have after the current fantasy season, if you had any championship success, or if you have any new players you absolutely know moving forward you will never draft again in fantasy football. So thinking of myself, I have a surprising answer. I feel like uh, I drafted Jalen Waddle in one of my leagues, and I feel like Waddle isn't a bad player.
No.
But the thing with Waddle is, at some point, you know he's going to get hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and until the Dolphins figure out what they're doing at QB, he started off really well. But man, that mid-season to end of the year stretch, and it ain't again. It's not his performance per se, but I mean, last or this past week he got hurt and wound up with 0 points. Thankfully, I had him on a bench, but I just feel like Waddle is a player because I knew when I drafted him there's a chance he get injured. I don't know if I could take that risk moving forward. So that's definitely a player of mine.
And he had
Uh,
all the signs to be a star this year with Tyreek going down early.
Bro, he was balling
He
at like
was.
the beginning of the year, but not just him. Another player, which he actually got hurt in real life. But Patrick Mahomes, I have to
Oh
say, as
man.
great as a quarterback as he is in real life,
Yeah.
fantasy quarterback wise, and he started off hot this year. Started looking like he did mention in Tyreek. He looked like the quarterback that was throwing once upon a time to Tyreek Hill and
Hmm.
being QB1 a few weeks, but Nah, until they get that offense figured out or back to what it used to be, and he's coming off injury, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on taking
It's
Mahomes
funny
going
you say
forward.
that because Brady used to have games like that. Like all
Bro.
he'd have in the game were yards sometimes, and then
Yeah.
it'd be like a four running back touchdown game or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are my two players. Is there anybody, again, it could be favorite players. It can be any success you've had with any specific team this fantasy season. Or, like I said, any team or any players y'all know specifically you will never draft again in a fantasy season.
A favorite player that I had was Trey McBride.
Ooh,
He was
that's a good
awesome
answer.
this year.
Yeah, so I appreciated having him on my team. Like, we was a game behind to make it to the playoffs, and literally a person that was like who won the same amount of game as us, but won his division, won the championship. So, like, that's
Damn.
but still having him on a team. He operated like a wide receiver one, not like a tight end. So
Yeah.
like, I appreciate him and never have on my team. I don't know if never, but I think I'm going to like he'll be like somebody that I wouldn't draft till later in the rounds is like Kyler Murray, because every time you think about having him, like what he could bring, like his potential, what he could bring to your team, he fuck around and get injured every single time. So like, and then luckily I end up in both leagues. I end up getting Jacoby Brissett.
There you go.
So you can see
Saved
how the
your
offense.
season.
Yeah, you can see how the offense works if Kyler
Yeah.
was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Jacoby got his limitations. So I don't know if I would outright like go like aim to go get Kyler. But I will like have him like a bench QB because I know he can fill in sometimes, but he's just not reliable. Like, he's not. In the past couple of seasons I've had him, I could never depend on him to like stay healthy for long stretches. And this year he got knocked out. So
His stat sheet's always a lie, though. That's why, because like even a healthy Kyler Murray, first half 4 points maximum, second half 26 points. Like, that's his ceiling every single time, and it never fails.
Garbage buckets for
Yeah.
sure. He definitely can give him that. But I feel like even when he was healthy at points this year, like the Cardinals even said, like if he were healthy when he was, or his original injury timeline was up, they were almost pointing and making it seem like they were going to roll with Jacoby.
Yeah.
And Jacoby had some performances this year. Look, in real life, he ain't going to be the guy to take you nowhere. He's a very solid backup. But one thing that man will do, he will feed his number one targets. Gerard talked about McBride. He was feeding them.
Michael Wilson, too.
Michael Wilson.
Marvin Harrison got hurt. He was feeding him. And then, like y'all said, Michael Wilson came in and looked like one of the greatest wide receivers of all time in a 4-week stretch. It was incredible. So, I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, some guys, not like you're playing for fantasy in real life, but some guys understand, like, look, it's a lot worse when you are ass and not treat or feeding the targets that need the ball, want the ball. But some guys understand. You can question a lot about me, but one thing you can't say is I ain't feeding my main guys.
Right.
And that's all Jacoby Brissett came in and seemed like he was willing to do. So I appreciate that, again, from a fantasy standpoint. Another
a guy I will never, ever, ever take again is Josh Jacobs, because those veteran guys late in the year, they just fall apart. They just, you can't rely on them. Another guy who's burned me 2 years in a row now with injuries, and I'm sure if he's there next year, it's going to be tempting, but Malik Neighbors, he just screwed me 2 years in a row now with getting injured. It's just, it hurts. You can't win without your number one guy.
Bro, y'all know, fantasy league, traded for him in the offseason, gave up a lot. He got hurt, and it's like, it makes you kind of think about in real life when you take the Colts.
Yeah.
You take that gamble. They traded for Sauce Gardner, and it's like, okay. The fans were excited. The league went crazy when they made the move. And not that it, is a foregone conclusion that it will be, deemed a bad move. But when he gets hurt and then they have their other injuries, Daniel Jones, it's like, not only was this season not what you guys wanted, but also moving forward, they traded a first-round pick. So, I'm always a person that mentions going and trading or securing an elite player, but you have to also be realistic too. Man, Malik Neighbors getting hurt, and like you said, you trade that for a guy you're dependent on to be your top guy, wide receiver one. Him getting hurt definitely Definitely hurt.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Definitely.
I'm starting to think all these Jets players are just good guys on a dog shit team. But then when they go to another team, they're just regular people. At the end of the they're all like, look at DJ Reed this year for us. He was awful when he came back. Granted, he was still banged up, but he was terrible.
No, he was getting cooked. Him and Amit, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and pick one. Barbecue chicken either side. But I will say Quentin Williams, I've always been a fan of him. Yeah. Defensive tackle, and I will say when he got traded to the Cowboys this year, he low-key helped turn that Cowboys defense around. So
yeah,
I just want to point him out as a guy that went elsewhere and did and had success. But no, I mean, depending on who you were, even before Sauce was traded, certain people felt like he was a little overrated because he didn't necessarily create the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Does get a few penalties here and there, but I mean, I'm not mad at that move for the Colts, but I'm just, again,
that was bad luck. The season
bad timing too.
Bad luck.
Like Anthony Richardson, I don't know what's going on there. Shit, when you tear an Achilles, are you back for that next season? Whether it's Daniel Jones, and again, he was on a 1-year deal. What do you pay a person that was on a 1-year deal, now as a free agent, coming off an injury, had a inconsistent pass before this season? So what do you do? I mean, Sauce Gardner has a high price tag.
I'd give him one more chance. Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you got to sign him to another 1-year deal.
At this point, what possibilities do you truly have? But no,
1 year, $10 million, maybe. Would you do that?
It would be heavily incentivized, but I mean, he looked good enough before he got hurt. Well, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back at all if I was the Colts. I think behind the shit, Phillip Rivers came back, went winless.
What's his face? Daniel Jones is happy. Daniel Jones should be happy that the Giants paid him too there. So, he got some money in his bank.
Yeah, no, shit, I hope so. But no, it's been a very interesting NFL season, very interesting fantasy season. Yeah. One guy I wanted to shout out who, in one of my drafts, just kept falling and falling. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a chance. Why not? Is the running back for the Steelers, is it Jaylen Warren?
Jaylen Warren.
Bro, at one point, it's like you knew what he did last season when he got a chance. It's like, well, he should get some carries at least, or get some receptions out the backfield, bro. At certain weeks, he looks like a legitimate top 5, top 10 running back, and it's like I feel like other people overthought it, but that's one player moving forward. I'm like, okay, I will take a flyer because he plays hard, and as a running back, like you said, when you can catch like that, it's just additional points. So that's another player I'll be adding my.
You know what sucks about Malik Neighbors is that when he went out, then Jackson Dart came on, then Scadabo went out, and you're like, damn, if all three of these guys could play together, they may really have something.
They would have been fine, right? Yeah,
they would have been. They may have been a playoff contender. Yeah. You never know.
Don't forget they got a tight end that looked really good at certain periods.
Oh yeah,
this season.
Theo Johnson.
Theo, yeah.
Yeah, like I just literally that was one thing I did. Whenever you watch them, because even after Malik went down and Scadabo was cooking, the Giants' offense looked really solid. And Scadabo has that terrible injury. It's like, bro, if I was a Giants fan, I would be in shambles right now. Because not only is it injuries, but when it's injuries to your young players, that's damn near half the reason you tuning into the games is just to see what they do. So,
not to mention teams were trying to take off Jackson Dart's head out there. That was bad for a minute.
A concussion in what? At least 5 out of his 10 games that he's played? At a certain point, and I actually did enjoy watching him play, and I loved the way that he played. But, hey, bro, you're not going to be around long if you keep exposing yourself to those hits. I don't care who you are.
He got to play smarter. That's not on them. I don't know what he thought this was, but you can't be playing pinball with your head out there.
Yeah, I'm saying, diving into tackles, I'm telling you, that's a lot in one seat. That's up there with Tua, bro. You don't want to see that as a team. And I actually feel bad because I feel like we said, at one point they were cooking when they weren't hurt, and then they fired Dabo after the injuries. It's like, bro, look, no matter what you think about him, I'm not a big Dabo guy, but I will say offensively they look very solid at certain points, and I'm not sure what he could have done with the injuries they sustained to justify not being fired if that's what it took. So
I mean, I don't know. I watched that Hard Knocks. I think the GM should have been fired. I don't think that that Brian Dable should have been fired, but also I don't think he was a good leader. So like that's another thing. Well, also that GM was skating. He must know where the bodies is buried or something, because like he was doing some bullshit, and then like the coach would still get blamed for it. It's like, come on, man. Like yeah.
No, and man, I forgot. Feels like forever ago when Russ started the season off as their starter. So, like I said, a crazy NFL year and season. But no, I was curious what players you guys enjoyed, what success you guys had. I know we didn't talk too much about fantasy football this year, so just wanted to discuss that before we got into everything else. So before we move on, was there anything else you guys would like to add about the fantasy season or the NFL season?
No.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah, this season has been weird. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been terrible.
Yeah, it's a weird season.
It's been extremely weird. I had a random nugget here before we get into Did You Knows, and I found this gem that stated when someone submits a resume today, they have an abysmally low 0.4% chance of actually getting the job. And this is via Business Insider. So for anybody out there applying and filling out those job applications, stay strong, because it is wicked out here, boy. So let's get into.
That's not supposed to be funny, but
like 0.4 is kind of funny.
I mean, we all were taught go to college, get a job, and now, and I was talking to my dad actually about this the other day, and it's like, bro, back in the day, you could literally go into a business and be like, hey, I want a job. Are y'all hiring? And it was as simple as that. Yeah, we are actually. You come in, maybe they interview you on the spot or set something up. Now, if you go inside of anywhere and ask that same question, have you applied online? Like anything in person, physically, like that's out the. I don't think the boomers can fathom not being able to get a job like that.
Or they be lying. Like, we're hiring. Just go ahead and apply online. You don't hear from them niggas at all. Like,
no, you'll never hear from them. Never get a call back. So, like I said, it's wicked out here. But did you know, starting January 16th, and I put this in our chat before, but YouTube views and streams will no longer count towards album sales and song placements across the Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard 200 charts. It went on, the article I was reading went on to say Billboard uses an outdated formula that weights subscription-supported streams higher than ad-supported. Every fan matters and every play should count. So after a decade-long partnership and extensive discussions, they're unwilling to make meaningful changes. So therefore, again, on January 16th, the data will no longer be delivered to Billboard or factor into the charts. I know you both actually, when I mentioned this in our group chat, were kind of excited about this. Would y'all mind elaborating or kind of speaking to why you were looking forward or kind of viewed this as positive news?
Because they don't treat streams like the same way that I don't like how streams is used on Billboard for like Apple Music and Tidal and all that. It's the same way for YouTube. They don't treat streams, they don't weight it fairly. So like you can watch a YouTube video 2 million times and like, what does that mean? Like, how does that show like the interest in the artist and stuff like that? And like Billboard said, they use an outdated approach, and they're not trying to like all the companies are not trying to come together for something that makes sense for everybody, you know. So like, I'm glad that they did that, and I hope they do it for everybody else too. Like, we knew in our time, you buy one album that counts for one album. You bought an album, it goes towards your sales. How many times should you watch a video when it should it count? How many times should you stream a song or stream an album and it should count? Nobody knows these answers. Like, it's just a whole bunch of like decimals and like fractions and stuff like that. I need them to come together for it to make sense for everybody, for a video, for a stream, and all of that, so it can make sense for the artist, so everybody can get paid and get their certifications fairly. So I'm happy about that.
The thing I don't like about YouTube is you'll have a main artist page for somebody, and they'll have their whole album on there, and then you'll have about, I don't know the exact number, but let's say 1,000 something other accounts posting that same exact album on there. Like, do those count for views? Like, how do they track all those? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there who's taken an album, downloaded it, re-uploaded it, and probably got like 10 views on the whole thing. Like, do they count the little ones like that too? Like, I don't know. I just think it's all skewed on YouTube. So just leave it to the Spotify, Titles, and Apples to just track the sales perfectly, or like however they're doing it. But I think, I mean, at the same time, they're just trying to fuck with the whole system anyway. It's way different than when it used to be in the physical days.
And those physical days not coming back, so we know that we have to pivot, and you have to create a certain algorithm for the digital, but it has to make sense. Like, and nobody is on the same accord, so nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So like, you got to stop somewhere, like cut it off somewhere, and then like really get things in order. So I hope they figure it out, because I do think that if you just like YoungBoy, he streams a lot in YouTube, so like that shit matters, but how heavy should it weigh? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know.
YouTube's its own thing. Like, have YouTube pay out these artists or something.
And they do, but they talking about counting towards Billboard. Like, how should it count towards album sales? So,
and then at the same time, you said Billboard just fucked it up. What was it, like a month or two ago? We just talked about with the there was no hip hop song charting in the top 40 or whatever. Like, they just keep fucking with it to make whatever perfect little thing they want. And I feel like it's skewing all numbers across the board.
It's just weird. Yeah.
No, so that was I was curious how you guys would feel about that. But Pooh Shiesty's FDO is now that #1 highest charting song on Apple Music across all genres. It's the first rap song to hold this position in over 2 months. It also is the only non-holiday song inside the top 50 on U.S. Apple Music, and was the other day was currently charting at number 11. So dominating even on Christmas. I'm curious, have you guys heard this song?
Oh yeah, that shit fire. That shit fire.
It's been making a lot of noise. So hey, shout out to Pooh Shiesty.
But I'm curious with y'all, like, how often do you want to hear a first day out song from somebody? Like, do y'all keep wanting to hear it is like their shit? Like,
depends how fire it is.
Right?
Honestly, it depends on the artist, because I feel like Pooh Shiesty, for instance, right? We hadn't heard from him in a while. He'd been in jail. I think everybody was looking forward to when he released something. So, like, in his situation, absolutely. But when you have artists like a Kodak Black, who's unfortunately in and out, tends to spend his time in certain facilities, it's like, if he was to get out, release the first day out, it's like, bro, this ain't the first time, and you probably more than likely, like, this is kind of a pattern at this point. So, but I mean, T Grizzly to me is always going to be the person I think of when it comes to releasing a song. I know Gucci had a song I really like, but I think that brings a great question, Dra. I think the expectation is whenever you get out, you have to drop something hot. People are waiting, but again, if you're a person where you tend to visit certain establishments kind of often, kind of defeats the purpose of, a first day out track. So that's my answer.
Visit certain establishments is hilarious.
I'm trying to keep it cordial on this New Year's Eve day, bro. Drew, I'm curious what you think.
I say just Bobby Shmurda didn't release a hot song when he came out. That's all I gotta say.
He did. You're right. Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's a good point, right?
So put it in our chat, or I think it was on our Instagram, but Nelly says that Metro Boom will be the executive producer of the Saint Lunatics' first album in 25 years. I think y'all were talking about it, but Drew, I think both of y'all, if I'm not mistaken, are excited for this project.
Yeah.
Expectations, are y'all expecting anything groundbreaking, world-changing, or y'all just want to hear kind of some nostalgia?
Just to hear where they've been the past 20 years.
Yeah, I just want to hear them. Yeah.
That's real.
D12 too just announced, and it's got people asking so many questions right now that they're making a new album. It's called D12 Forever, I believe. But the question is M going to be on it? And nobody knows. So if he's not on it, it's just going to be like another project they release, just tossed in the garbage. Exactly. Yeah. It's not D12 without proof too.
You don't have proof either. So
exactly. If you don't have M, you can't really do much.
No, that's true. Aiden Hutchinson joins Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor as the only player in NFL history with at least 35 sacks, 5 interceptions in their first 70 career games.
Dang.
Hutchinson did it in just 53 games, while Lawrence Taylor did his in 65.
Damn.
And the interception of Matthew Stafford a few weeks back made Hutchinson the fastest player ever to reach the milestone. So,
wow.
To me, one of the bright spots this season and moving forward for the Lions.
Yeah.
So the new Avatar has dropped, and I found a interesting nugget here I wanted to share. But Varane and Avatar: Fire and Ash, have either of you seen it yet?
Not yet. Oh.
Okay. So is played by Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter, Ona, who almost changed her name for her acting career at one point. But she was quoted saying, "It's been a journey to feel deserving because I know that the doors have opened for me that potentially wouldn't have happened if I wasn't associated with this brilliant man. It's definitely tricky to feel undeserving of the place you're in," she told The Times. But then Chaplin decided against changing her name because her mindset shifted from guilt to gratitude by working really hard and knowing that whatever I do is never going to compare to what my grandfather did. If all my purpose in this room is for people to say, "Oh, Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter," and they Google him and watch a movie of his, and I'm happy because he's such a genius. Right. I actually, at one point, went and looked at Charlie Chaplin's net worth once upon a time. The man's was loaded. He owned all the production companies that made his movies. He was loved, and people, sought after him. So, bro, I don't know what made me look into this, but I saw his net worth, and I was truly blown away because you don't associate.
He's really goated. I didn't realize how instrumental and influential he was because I took a film class in college. So like they kind of like detailed Charlie Chaplin, and I was like, oh shit, like I really just thought like he was just a actor comedian, you know what I'm saying, that started the motion picture wave. But I didn't know he was doing so much. Like I didn't know he had so much like influence in the film industry. Like you're right. that was great. So he was.
No, I gotta find his net worth real quick. Forgive me. So it was believed that his fortune was worth at least $415 million in today's money. So again, Charlie Chaplin, we talking, what year was this man born? 1889 and passed away in 1977. So, bruh, hey, shout out to Charlie Chaplin. Like you said,
I know he passed away so recent, like 1977. Dog.
He'd fit in today's times.
Oh my God!
Oh my! Here we go.
Never help yourself.
Gerard, did you watch that movie Modern Times in your film study class? It's like the silent movie. I don't know if they were all silent that he did, but
I watched
that was like the most like goated one that people talk about.
Yeah, we had to watch that one. Yeah, for sure.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I've never watched them full.
Actually, Gerard, now that you mention it, I did not know Charlie Chaplin was around as recent as 1977. It's actually crazy.
Damn.
To think
I know, right?
Dang. That's a long life.
So according to reports, unfortunately, veteran character actor Isaiah Whitlock Jr., known for his roles in The Wire, Veep, Your Honor, The Residents, and several Spike Lee films, passed away on Tuesday in New York at 71. His manager, Brian Leapman, told Deadline Whitlock passed peacefully after a brief illness. I wanted to add that we've played his drop on here numerous times, but also that he was very funny in Cocaine Bear. So when I actually heard the news, I was pretty sad because you always think about the line from The Wire, shit, and he just seemed like a good dude that you actually knew. So unfortunately, 71 to me just still feels
that's young.
Too soon. Yeah. So
did you ever see the movie Cedar Rapids? It's a comedy it was like a straight to DVD movie, but it was him and Ed Helms, Andy from The Office. It was like they're businessmen going on a trip, and pretty much just spirals out of control on the trip. It's just like a huge party that they go to at this convention. It's a funny movie if you ever got the time.
No, I would check it out. I've never heard, honestly, of that movie, but I enjoy both of them in their films, so I'm pretty sure I would enjoy that movie too. So R.I.P. I actually have an interesting list for you guys before we get to a more interesting list later. But albums that turn 10 in 2026. I don't know if y'all ready for this.
No, I am. I know a bunch. We talked about them, didn't we?
I'm sure we talked about some, but Drake Views, Kanye West, The Life of Pablo, Weeknd, Starboy, Frank Ocean, Blonde, Travis Scott, Birds in the Trap, Sing Brian McKnight. J. Cole, For Your Eyes Only. Kendrick Lamar, Untitled Unmastered. Future, Evolve. Young Thug, Jeffrey. Schoolboy Q, Blank Face. Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert versus the World. A Tribe Called Quest. We Got It From Here. Thank You for the Service. Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. I'm going to pause there because to me, I can't fathom that album already being 10 years old. Like
all these, honestly.
It don't feel that long ago from when I remember first listening to that. So it's a little scary. Mac Miller, Divine Feminine. Rihanna, Anti. Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade. Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition. Kid Cudi, Passion Pain. And Demon Slaying. ASAP Mob, Crazy Tapes Volume 1. Six Black. I'm sorry, I always get that wrong. Free, Six Black or Black, whichever one it is.
Black.
Sorry, man. Anderson .Paak, Malibu. Beyonce Lemonade, 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, Savage Mode, Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book, Lil Uzi Vert, The Perfect Love Tape, West Side Gun, Fly God, Solange, A Seat at the Table, Death Grips, Bottomless Pit, and Kate Renata, 99.9%.
That's
are all
crazy.
Turning 10 years old.
What a time.
In this upcoming year.
Feels like we just heard him a couple months ago.
What's that, 2016? Honestly, damn, summer
2016 sounds like it was a great year for music. That's what I'm hearing from this list.
Did you say Post Malone's debut album? Was that in there? Because I'm pretty sure that came out
it wasn't on the list.
Or maybe it
I
was
don't know if that
after.
also dropped in 2016, but
maybe it's 2017.
Bro, what? Like I just said, I remember literally a lot of these projects, listening to them, and it's hard to fathom that it's been almost 10 years since, especially Coloring Book, because Coloring Book, I remember listening to that and finally being like, okay, because again, I've never heard acid rap, so I would hear certain songs from Chance, and Drew, you remember, I was not a fan. Coloring Books was the one where it's like, okay, I get it, because that was honestly a great project. So, yeah, man, it's 2026 should be a great time for music, but also to reflect back on 10 years ago and where we were. That is kind of crazy to me.
I was working at that dispensary in Detroit with Phil at the time, and I played the piss out of that Tribe Called Quest album there. That's all I remember. It was for a Posthumous album. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got my list. Honestly, it was a lot more difficult after you start going through all the albums that's dropped and not wanting to be impartial to the recent albums that dropped, but also remember some of the early albums and wanted to show love to them. So, did y'all want to get into the list?
Yeah,
or what did y'all want to do?
I was gonna ask you guys what was this year for you guys? Like, what did it mean as far as hip hop goes?
So when you asked that, I guess so. How would you answer that question, or which way are you talking about?
Personally, I'll answer it for me. Personally, for me, it was a bunch of veterans and heavy hitters who really wanted it this year. That's what I take away from it. It was kind of disappointing for a lot of new guys, I'd say. Like, they didn't really make a huge stamp like a lot of these guys I had on my top 10. It was just I feel like it was a staple year for a lot of artists, and it was the year of older, like, veteran MCs really showing that they can still produce and make a great album and have a stamp on the end, like, year results.
I would say it's the year of the vet. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So I guess I would take it a step further. I think this year in hip hop, I would say it's the year of people that don't necessarily care anything about being in the spotlight. But yet, when I made this list, a lot of those artists had the top projects of the year. So when I say don't necessarily desire or crave the spotlight, when you have a guy like Jid, who, you know, he'll do certain interviews and whatnot, but he's not trying to be on the radio. He's not trying to be like, he just drops music and lets his fans enjoy it. Freddie Gibbs, another artist, you know, the Clips. I mean, they had a masterclass with their rollout, but again, they don't give a damn about, you know, their names being here and there. Like, so I think, and even, I mean, Wale, shit, he dropped, and I think that's an album that was difficult for me to rank, so I look forward to hearing the list, but to answer your question, that would probably be my answer. People that don't necessarily crave or want the attention that comes with being at the top of the game, but let their albums and their work speak for themselves. So
that's fair, yeah.
So I mean, I think typically we start off with the honorable mentions. So
Well, I can, Gerard, what did it mean to you, real quick?
The same. I just think that I think hip hop is evolving to where it's no longer just a young man's game. And so I agree with you where it's the year of the vet. So where we have veterans come out and put out great projects and electrocute the game a little bit, give it a little bit of a pulse outside of the things that the young kids just been ignoring, really, which is something of substance. Like give you something that you album projects that you can listen to more than once and not just like here today, gone tomorrow. So I think a lot of the stuff that we listened to this year have been reemergence of old veterans and staples in the hip hop community right now that release some good, like well thought out projects. And I think that it was important for that to reintroduce it so that the artists of today can see like, hey, I don't just need to follow trends. If I take some time and really like sculpt and craft something, the people will follow. So
yeah, I agree.
So I have my list of honorable mentions. I can go over really quick.
For it.
Gerard, I apologize.
You Gerard me. That's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I had Jim Jones at the church steps. Which
that's in mine too, B.
Bro, it was so hard. And again, that's when you start making your list, and then you realize, oh, I forgot about this album, and then you start seeing them 8, 9, and 10 start having to move to that honorable mention. It's like fuck, but that was such a good album, and it hurt me to move it off of my list. So I wanted to definitely acknowledge it within my honorable mentions. Have Will Smith, based on a true story.
Yep.
I have Juicy J and Logic, Live and in Color. I still am impressed by when you hear those two names, you have certain expectations, but I think that album was much deeper and had more depth than you would anticipate. Kid Cudi, Free. Again, Drew, we talked about that album. Wiz Khalifa, Kush and OJ 2. And then personally for me, I did leave this album out. And Gerard, again, I apologize, but Wale, Everything Is a Lot. I feel like there are so many albums from earlier in the year I wanted to make sure I put on my list and didn't have off of it due to recency bias. But there's so many songs I still repeat off of that album where I wanted to make sure I gave it love, but I don't necessarily repeat the entire album. But man, it's some good ones. And I feel like this kind of is typical for Wale, not to get the respect that he quite deserves, but I had to be real with my list. So those are my honorable mentions. I'm curious what you guys had on yours.
I too had Jim Jones in my honorable mentions. I also had De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. I really wanted it to be in the top 10, but like you said, once you get to 8, 9, 10, shit start getting wicked out there. So like you can't hear everything, can't fit in there. I had Jermaine Dupri, Magic City, and I also had Joey Badass, Lonely at the top. Through, like I said in our episode, if you missed it, through no fault of his, I really do think Lonely at the Top is a good album. I just think that whatever issues Joey had with the record label kind of like tainted it, and it didn't get the love it deserved, but it is definitely one of my honorable mentions. And also I had an album by a kid I sent y'all in the group chat. His name is Chris Patrick, a young kid and from Jersey. It's an album called Pray For Me, and I really think that this is a really good album. I didn't get a chance to sit with it long enough to put it in my top 10, but it definitely grew on me, and I really do think he's a star in the making, and we're going to be listening to him for a long time. So those is my honorable mentions.
I took a picture on June 28th, and because I was like, I know something's going to happen the second half of the year. So there's 6 albums as of June 28th that did not make my top 10, but were in it at one time. So I got to shout out Jim Jones at the Church Steps, which I feel like all 3 of us had, so that says something. Larry June and 2 Chainz, Life is Beautiful. Will Smith, based on a true story. Reason, I Love You Again. And ESTG's My World. And that was all as of June 28th, which is crazy.
ESTG is so good too. Like, bro,
the problem with that album, Durant, is the way it's laid out, and that it's all tracks that should have been on albums, but it sounded better than his last album, which is crazy. So,
you know the crazy thing? I literally just moved that ESTG album out of my top 10 this morning.
Damn.
This morning, because bro, it's a good album. Like I can't lie, but you know.
Yeah, and then my number 11 spot was Joey Badass's "Lonely" at the top. It just made the cut of not making it. And the other one I got to shout out now is De La Soul's "Cabin in the Sky." Like that is a really, really good
good album. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all positive hip hop. And I wish I heard it earlier in the year, because I feel like if I heard that in the summer or even like May, it would have probably made the top 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the honorable mentions.
Before I get into my list, Gerard, you mentioned the album "Pray for Me," Chris Patrick. I have notes because you requested or asked me to listen to the album before we recorded. To be honest, though, when you asked, it wasn't not that I didn't want to listen to the project. It was more so, depending on the time, if I could fully commit to it and give you my word. But one thing I wanted you to know, you don't. And I thought about this in life, not to make this fake deep, but like you're a person, you really don't ask for much. And because you don't ask for much, when you do go out your way to ask somebody for something, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, I feel compelled because you always do so much for other people. I'm like, bro, I gotta listen to this album. Like there's no way I cannot listen to this album. And I said that because Raymond Noodles started off flowing, had to double check, and to me, he sounded like Prime Crit or Big Crit on that track. So I was very impressed. Still got to determine if I like Marco Polo or Marco Plus's flow on Frankenstein, but Chris Patrick was good. I thought the Mayor was fire. Reminded me very much of a T Grizzly beat and flow. Do Re Mi, to me personally, I think is a certified hit. Yeah. I think that song was amazing. So Drew, I'm curious what you think of that when you get a chance to listen to it.
I'm listening to it Friday, because I got to work Friday.
And then he followed that up with 100 Times, such a chill and smooth vibe that I appreciate. And then to follow that up with Patience in a day and age where you have rappers that glorify and flex and show off, to have a rapper discuss real shit like applying for jobs but not giving up hope about his dreams, like that's the shit I feel myself. And we talk about wanting to hear real shit, like, bro, we get it. All y'all rappers got money, fuck the baddest bitches, don't have no struggles in life, we get it. But it's refreshing to hear a rapper say, you know what? I got these bills to pay. Rap ain't quite doing what I needed to yet. I'm going to make, or I mentioned the applying for jobs and the success rate earlier, but I got to make something happen, but I'm not giving up on my dreams. And I still know I got the talent to make it happen. So I don't know if I've heard that perspective, to be honest with you, of an artist detailing applying for jobs until things shake. So, but also not giving up. And then you have
there's only a 0.4% chance he'll get it too.
Come on, talk to Drew. And Screaming at the Sky, I thought was a beautiful tribute to his mother. So all in all, I understand why you recommended this album. I felt bad because if this album had dropped earlier, I'm 100% sure that it would have been on my top 10 list.
Sure,
it's an easy listen. He didn't have a lot of features. Like, I think the versatility, and not just the versatility, but the fact that he can rap at an elite level, but also make the smooth R&B or like chill tracks, smoke tracks, and they sound just as good. I'm very impressed, and I can definitely see why you've explained that he'll be a star, because I agree. Like, it's only a matter of time before more of our listeners are familiar, but man, this project was very good. And it literally was my takeaway. Like, I'm like, damn, should I consider putting this on my list? But I'm like, nah, that what the young kids say, that's kind of glazing. I'm like, that's the recency bias I don't want to put on the list. But man, honestly, it stacks up very well with whatever you listen to for the year. So man, I just wanted to go over my notes real quick on that album and again say thank you for recommending that.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it. I felt like this is something that we will all appreciate, and like you said, the same thing. If it had come out a little earlier in the year, I think we all would have been like, "Yo, this guy needs more a spotlight on him. He's really good." But we didn't get it in enough time, so like you said, it's unfair to kind of like push everything out the way to throw him in there. But I will recommend people listen to it because it is a good album. So,
agreed. So on that note, are you guys okay with knocking out our top 10s, going from 10 down to 1 in order?
For sure.
Look forward to it every year.
So Drew, you said what's the pattern we should go? Who should go first?
You, Gerard, me.
Drew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at number 10, I have Key Glock, Glockavelli. Honestly, I don't know. Did both of y'all listen to this album? Did y'all ever get a chance to listen to this album? So this is one of those albums I feel like not a lot of people listen to. But man, when I tell y'all, like, I remember where Key Glock was kind of ability wise when we first dropped. When you listen to this album, man, the beats, like the way he raps has gotten so much better. It kind of reminds me, remember we used to listen to the older 21 Savage, and then at one point he started dropping content. It's like,
Yeah.
he's actually gotten really good at this shit. Like, you can see clear improvement. That's kind of my takeaway when I think of Key Glock. And Glockavelli, I thought was a really good album. So again, one of the earlier projects that dropped, I remember when it did drop, how it was the album I listened to and repeated for a while as the year moved on. So I wanted to give it the recognition I felt like it deserved. So I have at number 10 again, Key Glock, Glockavelli.
If I could jump in real fast, I feel like the 10 and 9 spots are always those underrated albums that are like personally good to us, but like no one else has heard in the year. You know, I love
for
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go on that same thing. I personally love this album, and a lot of people said it was par for the course for this artist, but you know, I really enjoyed it. Ghostface Killer's Supreme Clientele 2. I really
You've been
enjoyed this
talking
album.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, like listen, it may have been par for the course. It may sound like any other Ghostface album, but I also think that he also caught on to the youth, you know, with this album, and he produced a lot of this shit himself, and a lot of the records that he used are like old 67 R&B records that I love too. So really enjoy Ghostface Killer, and I'm glad that he's still moving on and recording music, even as a senior member of the Wu-Tang Clan. So that's my number 10.
It was way better than Raekwon's album that came out this year.
100%.
Do you guys have ratings at all for these albums or no? Or just
I don't.
All right.
You have ratings, but drop
I
the
do.
ratings.
So this year was the closest year ever for me. I feel like every single thing from 10 to 1 was like a 0.1 difference or a 0.2 at max. But this year, you know, following the course of that personal one we love, and I kind of glazed them the past few weeks, is Primo Rice's Bad Motherfucker. And as you can see on my wrap up, like he dominated everything on my personal list this year. But like, it was a hot summer muggy day, and we had this huge fucking repair job to do. And Malcolm and I got to the job, and we were just like, let's play something that'll just get us through this day. And we played like the first 2 tracks of it. It's like, all right, let's just keep going. And next thing you know, I got 28 plays for this album or something this year, and it's my most played album of the year, which it just set the tone for the summer, and it's a special place in my heart because like B mentioned Silk Shit. I want to say it was the end of 2024, and then just randomly this year, Malcolm was like, "Hey, have you ever heard Silk Shit?" I was like, "Matter of fact, I have," and it led to finding all these like 10 albums he has by Primo. So yeah, special place in my heart for this year. I gave it an 8.8.
Wow.
At number 9, I have ASAP 12E. I did More with Less. Another project earlier in the year.
Good album.
I feel like it was a project that helped me understand him more as an artist. Because I've heard his previous album that had Hop Out as one of the songs I really enjoyed, but I feel like he talked about some real shit on this album. And again, when I mentioned Wale and leaving him off my list is because I wanted to acknowledge the Key Glock, Glockavelli, and ASAP 12E earlier in the year. But overall, like you guys both said already, it was a really good album. So I appreciate it. Make sure I had it on my list.
Dope. Good job, B. My number 9, another vet in the game. This Mobb Deep Infinite album is the greatest posthumous album I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you, Gerard.
Yes,
Thank you.
Best, yeah. Like no one has ever put an album out after a person has died and created such a great piece of work. This is one of the best albums of the year. My number 9 album of the year. And like I said, you cannot tell that Prodigy is not around at all.
It sounds like they just made it yesterday.
Yeah, you cannot tell. So that's my number 9 album.
Well, I hate to foreshadow, but I'll be talking about it in a little bit. But my number 9 is Cardi B's Am I the Drama? And it went from the first 2 listens I listened to for the pod, and we dove into every track and everything. I gave it an 8.8. When I went back and listened the other day, I'm like, yeah, it's still one of the best albums of the year. It ended up as a 9 at the end of the day for me. What I like, though, listening to it again, I knew all the tracks. I knew the ones I still didn't like, but the ones I didn't like, I gained a little more respect for. So like the track I talked about with like Lizzo, where they sampled the 4 9 Blondes.
Yeah.
Still sucks. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little better than it was before, just because I knew it was happening. But I feel like Cardi released a great follow up as long as it took. What was it, 7 years from Invasion to Privacy?
Yeah.
She made this smash hit follow up, and it's something Lauryn Hill could never do. So I got to give her props this year.
Great point. So number 8, I have Offset, Kieri. I thought that was a really good album, man. It had bangers, good features. I didn't know what to expect either. And when you listen to it, I feel like out of all the albums that drop, it has the ability to stand on its own. Drew, I don't know if you ever officially checked that one out, but I know how you feel about Offset. Honestly, I feel like if you listen to this album, it would definitely be more songs that you would add. I'm not going to say necessarily you would love the album, but I do think you would add quite a few songs off of the album because transparently, you can just hear and tell that he cares about what he dropped. And
I'm at it right now.
I feel like we've all discussed, artists dropping shit, not really putting forth the effort that they should. This is an album you can't say that about. And again, Offset standing on his own. I wasn't sure if it would sound similar to some other projects we heard. I mentioned 21 Savage in a positive light earlier. Mm-hmm. The album he dropped, based on what you guys said, wasn't hitting worth a damn.
Hell no. The beats were fire.
I don't know if I even listened to it, but I'm not surprised based on the feedback you guys said. But he could have easily went that route. He could have dropped something. He could have been lazy. I didn't listen to his second project of the year, which I think dropped on
like a Halloween one or something.
Halloween,
like
that. But I can tell you, Kieri was fire. So that was number 8 on my list.
I just added it. I'm gonna listen, B.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Hearing what you think.
My number 8 goes to, I'm going to say, a legendary producer. Metro Boomin presents Futuristic Summer. Led with the smash hit Let Me Through There. Listen, this album was so nostalgic. It reminded me of going into college, going to those house parties, going to those club parties, like all that era. He just brought it back for these new kids to realize it. And now these kids think that music is their music, and that pisses me off, all right? So, but that's what he's supposed to do as a producer. Introduce old stuff to the new generation so that they appreciate it. And that's what this album did. So shout out to him. Shout out to Young Dro. Shout out to all the rappers who were into that futuristic Atlanta movement and bringing that back, because it was definitely, I'm a big fan of it, and I'm glad that I got to hear another album full of it. So that was my number 8.
That's good. My number 8, B, you just recently listened to it, is Mac Miller's Balloonerism. Crazy to think right now, January is tomorrow, and it's about to be a year since this album came out, which is wild. So ended up giving it a 9.1 in the end. It was in my 5 spot, and it moved back to 8. There's a few that took its spot, but like for a Posthumous album, it's very deep, it's dark, it's like you were saying, B, it's very sad at times, but also you can see the musicality that was in his soul. Like there is so many specks of like jazz, some soul, some experimental trippy beats, which he was always the king at, but it just shows like how great of an artist he was, just crafting some of this music. And a lot of it was recorded during the Faces time, which is my favorite era of Mac, so it holds a special place as far as Posthumous albums go.
Thanks. At number 7, I have an artist that dropped his first album in 6 years, Chance the Rapper, Starline.
That's my 7 too, B.
That's my funny. 7 too.
Now, whoa, let's all share, boys.
I don't know if
wow, that's crazy.
We all have it at 7. That's wild.
Oh, that's crazy.
I felt like
that's
I would
crazy.
be doing a disservice if I didn't put him on my list after listening to the album, especially after you had the first listen. It's like, I'm not just talking about being married anymore. I appreciate this, Chance. But then you start to continue to listen, and he talks about so much real shit. And again, I mentioned Coloring Book. within the list of albums that'll be turning 10. And to me, I feel like there's a lot of similarities, and not that he needed to replicate that album at all, but like a lot of what I appreciated from that album, I can say that it was listed or it was included within Starline. So I know we all have it at number 7. I want to give you guys a chance to explain why, but the fact that we all not just have it on our list, but have it at about 7 kind of speaks to how solid this project really was when you take a look at everything that dropped this year. So I'll let you guys take it from there.
That's dope. I mean, that's crazy. This shit ain't never happened before, y'all.
I'm blown away, honestly.
This is crazy.
Honestly, though, as I was making my list, I think at one point it was higher, but then I started to drop some more. So then I'm like, it's definitely staying on the list. This shit ain't gonna be honorable mention. But then I'm like, okay, and so the fact that it landed at number 7, like the final time I did my list, but y'all both have it in the same spot.
It's funny you say this. It was at 5 for me and moved back to 7.
Exactly what happened with me. No, that's damn. That's crazy.
Rod, where was it for you? And where
it was at 5 and came down to 7. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like
that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, but like that's crazy. But yeah, I'm just happy that Chance really took the time out to like release something else. I know he was getting a lot of shit for the last album, you know, that he made about his marriage and then him going through a divorce, a whole bunch of shit that he was going through in his personal life, and then he put that in record. You know, so this gave me a feeling of the old Chance, you know what I'm saying, but in a new world, you know. So like he's talking about his personal life, he's talking about real shit. Like B said, production is great, features are great. Like this is like really well put together album, the type of Chance that we thought we were going to get, you know what I'm saying, before he did the album about you know, his love life or whatever. But now like seeing that you can still implement those things but not like be fully focused on it and actually put more for thought into it, like, and it was more creative, I would say that. So yeah, this is one of my favorite albums this year.
Went from 5 to 7, just like you guys. I ended up with a 9.2 as far as the rating goes. When I went back and listened the other night, we were wrapping presents, and I played the album front to back, and Mariah at one point was like, I really like this album. I was like, you know what? So do I. I was like, I'm so happy to see him make a comeback, because I really thought after I still want to say it's Best Day Ever, Good Day, whatever the fuck it was called, A Really Good Day or something. He addresses how that was a flop, and he says it was a F-. I'm so happy he addresses that instead of just skating right over it, because like we said, Gerard, there are some good tracks on that album. But this front to back, dude, you get everything in this album. You get stories, you get lyrics, you get hit songs, you get deep songs, you get what's the song? Highs and Lows with Joey Badass, dude. You get catchy ass choruses that you just kind of sing around your head all day. The end of the album, you get experimental tracks. What's the one? Gun in Your Purse. Like, dude, that song's phenomenal. It's just, I'm so happy with this album because you get a dose of Coloring Book and you get a dose of acid rap. Not to the full extent as acid rap, but you get the weed song with Wayne and shit. So like, I'm so happy to just see he's making music, not trying to be popular, not trying to stick out and do something crazy, but just make songs in his own lane, and while also, you know, trying to push it a little bit. So it's good. It's a great comeback album. Yeah,
and still fully independent. So there's that too.
Making
still
bank.
Fully independent.
Making bank. Oh, and then he had the song too. I can't remember. It's at the end where he talks about his divorce with his wife. I'm like, bro, this shit's sad, but it's also great to hear that vulnerability. Like, you heard the vulnerability on his marriage album, and it was, you know, it was just how much he was in love. But this is like, dude, there's some shit that happens through it all. He still loves the girl at the end of the day. So
exactly.
Yeah, it was. I'm blown away by this album.
That's super cool, the fact that we all have the same
album. It might happen again.
Same place, but also the way it got there, damn near being the same. Number 6, I'm not sure if, I can't recall if either of you mentioned this album, but I have to almost slander myself because this was one of the albums I listened to more recently, but it was so good, I felt like it had to be on the list. Because this artist surprised me in a way that, quite frankly, they never had until this point. But the project I'm mentioning is Herbo, Lil Herb.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I literally just listened to that. I just listened to that.
So. Since we last recorded, I've listened to it, and I listened to it once. I'm like, that was really good. Let me listen to it again. And I listened to it again. And it's like, bro, like, there was always a way that he rapped. I felt like annoyed me, and y'all know I'm weird like
it's
that.
Offbeat. Like, it's always offbeat.
If a person's offbeat, like that shit annoys me. Whether it's Royce, whether it's so many artists that do that.
I shouldn't say always. I apologize, but
sometimes. No, and that's the thing. A lot of his music, he raps offbeat. But I will say he didn't do that very much on this album, and not just that, but the beats were amazing on this album. But the stuff that he rapped about, man, it was like. I didn't know he actually rapped about some of this content because he talks about real shit like post-traumatic stress, you know, after losing so many homies and stuff he's been through.
Yeah.
Fatherhood, like you see him and he looks super young, but you can tell he's very wise beyond his years. But again, listen to this recently, and I know I mentioned recency bias, but I'm just blown away because I didn't think he was capable of, you know, this type of album. And the more I listen to it, the more I want to keep listening to it. I'll probably be listening to it quite a lot when it comes to 2026. But at number 6, I have G Herbo, Lil Herb. And I think I might have listened to the deluxe version because he has some like bonus tracks. But even the bonus tracks was fire. Whereas like, bro, if you added them to it, these wouldn't have taken away from the project or hurt the project. So yeah, man, that's my number 6. And both y'all listened to this one already?
I just looked at his albums. I listened to a different one this summer. It was like a mixtape kind of. It was like 20-something tracks, and he was rapping over other people's beats. So
okay,
I completely missed this.
In November, if I'm not mistaken.
November.
So like,
I completely missed it.
No, Drew,
so what made me listen to that album? What made me listen to that album is because Went Legit is like all over the radio. So so I'm like, dog, weird, like. I don't know.
That's from the one I heard, Gerard. That's from like the mixtape sounding one.
So he added it to the album because I guess because Went Legit was going so crazy. I was like, this shit fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like let me go listen to the album to see if everything sounds like Went Legit. And so like I listened to the album like, oh damn, this is a really good album. I wish I had when it dropped in November, I wish I would have like listened to it then. But I like you said, like with G Herbo, sometimes he's hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? He be rapping off beat and stuff like that. So I didn't know what to expect. But listening to this album, it was a really good album. Like, and I should have followed my first thought, but
you know what, Gerard? He was really good on Conway's recent album. The features on that.
On features, you can get him to focus. Like so.
So speaking of features, one thing I will add about this album. So. He has Jeremiah on a song called "Whatever You Want," and that's a really good feature. He has, which he sampled the song too, but he has "Emergency," but it samples Wyclef Jean, who he has featured on the track, and has Turbo the Great. But then he has another song, "Thank Me," which is after the song with Jeremiah, and it features Anderson .Paak. But really, I mean, he didn't even have those. Might be. I think those are the only 3 features that are specifically listed on the album.
That's not even like rappers either.
That's not even, those is not my favorite song. Fallen Soldiers is such a good record, dog. Like, and it's talking about all the people that he lost in his life and how he's like trying to like deal with those losses as day to day. Like, so like that shit fire, bro. Like, and he was talking about that on the Breakfast Club. That also made me want to like tap into it. Cause I was like, I want to hear his growth as a rapper. So
yeah. And to be clear, I wasn't saying the ones that had features were his best songs. I mentioned them because those really are the only features that's on this album. The album without the bonus tracks is 15 tracks long.
Yeah.
And then also, to speak to Gerard's point, Went Legit, he added to the album, but it's the actual outro to the album.
Yeah,
so it's like, it's not a song that he placed on there like you hear early and it's like, oh, I remember this from the radio.
Yeah.
No, like he put it at the tail end, but it's still, even to that point, as popular as it is, it's not the best song on the album.
Nope.
And I think that speaks again to how incredible this project is. So, Gerard, you mentioned Fallen Soldiers, but he's got Win Again, Reason, which is the number 2 track on the album, is really good. Longevity, like, it's just really good music on this project. Yeah. And even if you include the bonus tracks, it's 3 songs at the end. And overall, if you add the bonus tracks, it's still only 18 songs and 54 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you remove those, I mean, it's what? So removing those is 15 tracks, 45 minutes long. I think that's a sweet spot we always talk about with album length in general. So again, long-windedly, that is my number 6 album on the year. Shout out to Jeep Herbo, man.
So my number 6, my number 6 is an album I'm pretty sure y'all got rated much higher. So it's gonna be Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo 2. It's one of the best albums of the year, and I feel like a album that Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs show that they're like an elite duo. You know what I'm saying? So like my favorite songs off of there was Lemon Pepper Steppers, Ensalada, Gold Feet with Jid. Listen, I still love her. Listen, Shangri-La, Gas Station Sushi, Death Row. Yes, like what's that? What is Skinny Shook too? Yeah, so like, yeah, like this whole album was like so fire, you know what I'm saying? And it shows that Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist are, like I said, an elite duo and can do no wrong together, and they put together another great project. So that was my number 6.
I love that. Yeah, definitely got it on the list. My number 6, Gerard, you've heard it, is Rome Street's Train Spotting.
Yeah.
I gave it a 9.3. Listen, I'm stamping this for the year. As far as rapping goes, just rapping, it's the best album of the year. Like, he raps his ass off, track to track to track to track to verse to verse to verse. It is phenomenal. Like, I've never heard a guy, after each song, I'm like, damn, he just gave me 3 verses. I want 3 more on the same beat. Like, that's how great he's killing these tracks. Like, he had Method Man on it. Method Man obviously stole the show because he's one of the best vets out there. But, like, he really held his own and barely had any features. I think the only other one he had on it was Jay Worthy. And he just... I can't say enough about him. I think he's the future of Griselda. And honestly, Gerard, after listening to that Conway album, I'm like, damn, I think he's got the best Griselda album this year. Like, I know Westside had a great run. Benny had a little run this year. Conway had his album. But, dude, he shines when he raps. So he's up there for me.
Is it on me or
It's on you. It's on you.
Okay. So at number 5, I have Cardi B and Mount Drama.
Nice.
I know you already had it on your list, Drew. I have it at 5 because remember how much I replayed that album. I remember the expectations we talked about that album. I remember us talking about whether or not Cardi B would drop a new album. So for all the pressure she had and to deliver in the way that she did, in my opinion, I had this at number 5. Also, this is the only project I have that's led by a woman. So I wanted to make sure I weighed it fairly, and to be honest, I think she did more with the pressure she had than some other artists that I have on this list. But I just want to say again, I'm super proud of Cardi. There's some songs on there, and the way that she's dropped bonus tracks, like the song she has with Young Jeezy, the remix. Like, I'm just a fan of the way that she wrote the album out. Like, there's really not many complaints I have on the album. Like, it gave me everything I wanted. So shout out to my girl Cardi. I got again at number 5. Am I the drama?
The other day when I was doing my replay of all these top 10s, when I got to hers, I was listening to him like, God damn, this shit's going on way too long. And I realized I was on like track 26 on the extended.
Bro,
I'm like, good God. I was like, I've been done with this album.
Bro, it's so good, man. And the fact that you listened recently while making the album, like,
yeah.
Did you listen to it and place it higher than you had it originally?
It was no, it stayed at 9. It's been at 9. It stayed at 9 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's just a really good album.
I definitely knew at the end of the year it was in my top 10, regardless of where it was.
No, that's fire.
My number 5 is, like I said, y'all probably got this higher too, is Jid, God Does Like Ugly. Incredible album. Started off fire with the Westside Gunn is the first voice that you hear on there, and then it goes to Glory, which is an amazing track, Work, which is an amazing track, Community with the clips, and they give 2 amazing verses. Vince Staples on VCR is amazing verses. They give you the bop with Skate with Sierra and Earth Gang. Got What We Own with Don Toliver. Got his Atlanta People's Black and Ty Dolla $ign with Wholeheartedly. It's just an amazing album. Just an amazing album. Front to back.
Video the other day of Work and the breakdown.
Oh yes, and the breakdown of Work. Oh my God.
Took it to another level.
Oh my god. So yes, yeah, like definitely. I knew once I heard this album that it was gonna be top 5. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't knowing what order it would be on there. But this is definitely one of the top 5 albums of the year, like easily, easily. So yeah, Jid, God Does Like Ugly, top 5, top 5, top 5, top 5.
My number 5, Gerard, you mentioned a little bit ago, is Mobb Deep's Infinite. And I'm gonna stamp it. If you're ready to stamp it too, I think it's the best posthumous album ever made.
Best posthumous album ever. Yeah.
You had all these drops this year from Mass Appeal, and like, you know, you got what's his face? Mike from De La Soul passed away. Yeah. Was that his name, Mike? I can't remember. Dave. Dave. Sorry.
Yeah,
Dave passed away. I listened to Mac Miller, obviously, posthumous album that passed away. What was the other one we listened to? Hold on.
We was talking about
sorry. I had a brain I mean, we were talking about Pac too this year with Jeff and everything. Yeah. But no, so Mobb Deep, when I heard this album, I'm like, all right, let's see what it is. It's a posthumous album, you know, it's part of this run of albums. Something's got to be bad in this mix. This is the best album out of that Mass Appeal drop this year. And Alchemist, I think the beats are better on this than they are on the Freddie Gibbs album. Now, I got that rated a little higher than this, but the choruses to this, like, I haven't heard an album in a long time where it's almost every track I remember the chorus. And to that point, I'm singing it in my head. I'm singing like I was saying to you, the M, the O, the B, the B, the D. There's a part where Prodigy in one of the songs just saying some of his favorite artists, but he's rhyming it in a weird little ways like Nas and Rakim, Big L, just right, just it's fire, man. Like I know Mobb Deep gets a lot of flack in that 90s era. Like you could compare him against the Bigs, the Pacs, a bunch of shit, and everyone always tosses them out the window. Bro, they made one of their best albums ever on this one. They did. And like it's perfect to me. So yeah, I gave this one a 9.3.
Yeah, you can tell they had a lot of love for one another. P had an idea in mind of what he wanted to do before he passed away. Because all those are verses specifically intended for a Mobb Deep album. It wasn't like they just grabbed some verses from anywhere else. Like you said, I agree that Alchemist Beats was better on this, but also he had Havoc sitting right next to him.
Exactly,
so,
and he's a bona fide producer at this point.
Right, so
the other thing I was gonna say too, so I've listened to this album a good amount of times now. I feel like even if Prodigy was still alive, it would sound pretty similar to this.
It sounds similar,
you know? So
I agree.
That's just a nod to Havoc and Alchemist at the same time for just knowing their sound, working together all those years, and just making quality music. So
exactly.
I love this album.
Yeah.
So at number 4, I have an album. I don't know if either one of you will have listed, but I replayed the hell out of it. And I feel like it deserves to be on this list. So at number 4, I have Larry June and Cardo Got Wings Until Night Comes.
I've definitely listened.
Bro, that out, and I feel like when you hear Larry June, you're like, oh, I know for the most part what I'm going to get. Partly true. I'm not gonna disagree with you there. But
it's smooth, though. I get you.
It feels like this was the top level of what you typically get from Larry June. And it's just like you said, Drew. It's smooth. Every beat goes together well. He don't necessarily switch up his flow a crazy amount, but he does it just enough to where you don't feel like you're listening to the same shit over and over. And like I said, I played the hell out of this album. So when I went through the track, or went through the albums and the projects, I'm like, I have to think of what I listen to the most as we get, closer and higher up within the list. So, number 4, again, I got Until Night Comes by Larry June. And shout out to Cardo Got Wings, man. The beats are just incredible. I very rarely am disappointed when I hear that name. So,
you know what I'm going to say, B? So each year I feel like Larry June releases a good 3 to 4, maybe 5 projects, and at that point when it came out, I was already Larry Juned out because I was listening to Life Is Beautiful with the 2 Chainz and Alchemist, and I thought that was a great album. So when I got to this, I'm like, I'm good. But it was a great summer album, I will say that.
No, and that's the thing, like, bro, when you cruising and it's a nice weather night and you got the windows down, I don't know if there's an artist that's better to put on than Larry June. Like, the
Old
vibe's
Dime
just always
Kennedy.
gonna be immaculate. So yeah, no, I'm glad you got a chance to listen and gave it a chance.
Have you heard "Life Is Beautiful" with 2 Chainz?
Actually, I don't think so, but everybody
feel
I
like
know
you'd
that
love
has
it.
listened to it actually
Yeah.
said it's pretty fire. So
It
I
is.
need to.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna add that to my list as
There
you've
you
been
go.
doing it. Today.
We all got homework. Go ahead, Gerard.
My number 4, B just previously mentioned it. So did you, Drew. Cardi B and Amount Drama.
Nice.
Y'all know how I feel about Cardi. This is not anything different. I absolutely love Cardi B. I think this album makes her the greatest. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's nothing you can do or say about Cardi B as far as music is concerned. You can talk about other shit all you want to. As far as music is concerned, she's one of the best ever. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away for her. Even the numbers line up for it. And I think she did a great job of avoiding the sophomore slump and releasing another classic album. Because this is what this is going to be. Amount Drama is going to be a classic album. And you don't know many people who come into the gate dropping 2 classics back to back, selling a million, a billion records on both of those albums, you know what I'm saying? And to where she could still maintain her life as a socialite and, you know, do all the wild shit she do in the public, you know what I'm saying, and still release this good music. And we just ignore the public shit and be like, hey, this album though. So I think that's what Cardi B did, you know what I'm saying? And true to form, you know, Amount Drama lays out the things that she's been dealing with in her life, you know, her getting married, getting divorced, having kids, being a mother, and still trying to maintain her spot as the queen of rap, you know, and she's done that. So Amount Drama is my number 4 album of the year, and shout out to Cardi B.
Has she taken over Nicki for you?
I think so, because Nicki on some dumb shit, so it's so I can't.
Well, B, he said she's the greatest. I was like, I thought you said Nicki was. So
no,
is this the moment?
When the album dropped, I think when we first reviewed the album, I'm pretty sure I mentioned how Cardi's my favorite female rapper, and I feel like at that point, Gerard mentioned it kind of was transitioning from that point because of what we mentioned with Nicki. But Gerard, I want to almost piggyback on what you said before I give Drew the opportunity to speak. I think we put so much pressure on artists sometimes. It's like, it better be good. It better be blah, blah. Yeah. And when they deliver, as time goes on, it's like, okay, yeah, she did what she was supposed to do. But at the same time, if she dropped and it wasn't as good of a project as it was, that's kind of the thing that sucks for artists. We would have been talking about how shitty it was, and we would have magnified that.
Yeah. No, you're right. We would have, but also if we would have gave her grace to continue to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when if you keep putting back to back 30-point per game seasons together, I gotta give you your credit, because now I'm expecting you to be a 30-point scorer. If you put a 30-point and then you put 20, it's like, all right, well, they still got to grow in their game. This is who she is. She's a hit maker. She's a great artist.
And the human elements of knowing the pressure again. Can I produce something that was like my first classic album? So the point I'm trying to get to is the fact that she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everybody's like, okay, yeah, that's Cardi, cool. But if it wasn't what it was supposed to be, I feel like the noise would have been so much louder. So I don't want to look past the fact that she delivered something that had it almost was set up to fail, but yet she kind of, let's say if it was baseball, it's the last inning, last out, she's up to bat, need a home run, and she got a grand slam. So,
yep. Yeah.
Credit she deserves, because that's very hard to do for anybody in the music industry. So shout out to Cardi B, man.
Yeah.
We're on 4, right?
Yep.
All right. My number 4, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, Alfredo 2. I gave it a 9.6. I think this is some of Freddie's best rapping he's ever had in his career.
Yes.
I think it's some of I'm very big this year on making memorable and catchy songs and choruses, like I mentioned with Mobb Deep, like I mentioned with Cardi and Chance. He does a great job of making you remember these tracks. And I don't know if it's him and Alchemist, that great combination, or just he's in the lane now where I'm ready to be that superstar, where I'm ready for people to take me seriously as a rapper. The other thing, I feel like it's very, very tough to follow up a hit album like Alfredo 1 was. Yeah. Phenomenal produced album, phenomenal rapping. I feel like they took it to another level with this one. And now there's rumors that they're going to make a third. just keep going. Just keep making these great fucking projects that, you know, are album contenders. I love what they're doing. So,
yes.
Yeah, there's not much more I can say about it. It's just well put together.
Top 3.
Drew, you see my smile.
He's your number 3?
No. At number 3, I have actually Jid, God Does Like Ugly. I know Gerard already spoke to it earlier. I think when it dropped, and I've kind of known making this list what my top 3 projects most likely would be. We all were hyped for this album for quite a bit. So when it dropped, our expectations were high. And it's nothing better than that, to have high expectations and still have an artist deliver. Whether it was the features, the bangers, the singles that dropped, I was very impressed. And the more I listen to Jid, the more I can see he's one of them ones. So
for sure.
At my number 3, I do have God Does Like Ugly, and it came away being one of the best tracks of the year, or best projects of the year. Sorry.
For sure.
Yep. My top 3 has been my top 3 for a long time. Only one album jumped up there to get in there, but we've been talking about this all year long. And Drew, you know, Vaughn, The Good, The Bad, The Ugly.
That's my number 3. That's so
my
funny.
Number 3. Bro,
yep,
like
let's
this,
talk together then.
Yeah, it's shit so good as a newcomer in the game where he had nothing. Like and we would just listen to his shit like
that tax money, that EBT. Just come on, man.
Yeah,
just
like
fire.
It's a really good fucking album. Then he got into a little kerfuffle with Joey Badass. You know what I'm saying? But the album still stood. You know, like this is a great album. Not just a West Coast album, a great album, great storytelling, amazing rapping.
Amazing
He
storytelling.
can rap his ass off. Like, he can rap. And so TDE got another one with Vaughn, and they released another good album with The Good, The Bad, The Ugly.
And it's like what we said. He replaced Reason in the blink of an eye. You know?
In the blink of... Right.
I gave this album, it's at my number 3 at 9.7, Gerard. And I think it's all about placement because it came out in a time where there was a drought in the year.
Yeah.
It came out at the end of April. And just as like the weather's starting to break and everything is getting a little nicer, I played this album, and first time I heard it, I was blown away. And you sent it in the chat. I was like, all right, let me see what it's all about. Went back, I was like, God damn, he's actually saying some shit on this album. Yeah. And I think I'm a huge sucker for West Coast beats. Like, just the sound and everything. I'm so drawn. Like, I'm a New York junkie when it comes to lyrics, but, like, the sound of the West Coast, they just have such a feel to them where it makes you just want to nod your head, just bob along, sing the song, sing the choruses. But, like you said, the lyricism, the rapping, the storytelling, A++ from him. Like, I am blown away by this album. And it's short and sweet. It's, 11 tracks or something like that?
Yeah.
Perfect. The perfect listen. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Same.
That's dope, man. Having the same project on the same spot as somebody else. I wish there was a way to know the percentage of that happening, like without working together on a project.
We all had number 7 with Chance. Now me and Gerard got number 3.
Number 3.
Which is funny.
Yeah. No, that's incredible.
I feel like our number 1s maybe. I just
maybe
honestly, not mine, but you guys will see why. Number 2, and man, this is very difficult, but I think I told y'all earlier in the year it will most likely wind up this way. But I got the Clips. Let God sort them out.
At number 2.
At number 2,
son of a bitch.
Damn.
I do have number 2. I ruined the trifecta for us all, but
all right.
Drew, you spoke to it earlier, but obviously I have nothing bad to say about this album. I'm more so impressed, and you guys talk about it being the year of the vets. No better example of that than what the Clips did on this project. The amount of repeats I have on this project, the beats I have on this project, to be able to get a clear idea as to what not just Push could do, but his brother, who I wasn't as familiar with, to see his ability and almost be more impressed due to unfamiliarity. I just was blown away by this project. So I have nothing bad to say, and I know you guys will talk about it more in a bit, but I went back and forth, but I know I feel very confident about my number 1. But shout out to the Clips, man. I'm already anticipating and wanting to hear another album. And I think this show why it's very important to not just lock in with the producer, but a producer that will push you, as we've talked about so many times. And it just worked out great, man. I love the rollout, and I wish, as we're seeing all the restructuring and whatnot within the music industry, To see a label or to see a project pushed in a way that is so concise, I just really appreciate it. And you could tell based on the quality, man, they just went above and beyond. So my number 2 is the Clips. Let God sort them out.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is an album that I've said it since it first came out, since first listen. I told y'all how much it meant to me. One of my favorite artists ever, Wale. Everything Is a Lot is my number 2 album. I just enjoyed the vulnerability in this album. Wale is always vulnerable, but I also enjoyed him like weaving his storytelling through the production of this album and giving us a full-fledged album about where he's been the last couple of years and you know, his journey. So like, you know, you get Conundrum, you understand like his relationship issues, his alcohol issues with Blanco, what is it? We talk about his let's say miscommunication with women on City on Fire. Like we talk about him losing people that's in his life with Survive and him feeling like he's lonely in this world with the last track Lonely. So like I think that this is one of Wale's best album ever, and I think it just solidifies Wale as one of my favorite artists, as a person who can use music as a way to communicate with people, but also as a diary for himself. So I think Everything Is a Lot was one of the best albums this year. So
I'm glad you're standing by it.
Yeah.
My number 2, you guys have already mentioned, but JID, God Does Like Ugly. I think this is a masterpiece when it comes to his work. And I'm so glad J. Cole let off the training wheels a couple years ago, because this dude's a superstar, man. Like,
he is.
I go back and I listen to this album, like, dude, front to back, he's just tearing these tracks apart, which I absolutely love. At the same time, when you break down his lyrics, like we did on Work the other day, you miss half the shit the first few times you hear it, because he's rapping so... He enunciates his words perfectly, and I love that about an artist who can go fast and slow. At the same time, the beats are incredible. The features are incredible. He slows it down for a bit with that song by Six Slack Black, and that song wholeheartedly. That song with Ty Dolla $ign is incredible. Like he really found his groove with this album, and then he's got, to me, the 6-minute song of Blue, which like is a beautiful story. And the whole time around, I gave it a 9.9. Obviously, there's another one I think is a perfect 10. But I love what he can do. I think he's one of the best artists in the game right now. And he's having a hell of a year after the album release with the rollout and everything.
No.
Number 1.
Yeah, I'm curious now, B.
Yeah, no, Drew, you already spoke to it, and you said you had nothing else positive you can say about it because you loved it so much. And
Infinite?
Like I told y'all earlier, no.
I'm joking.
Number 1 album I had for 2025 was Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I mentioned when the Clips released.
Yeah.
The only edge I give it over the Clips album, and I know it's hard, like we're making a list and we're comparing projects, but for him to do what he did on his own, I feel like is what, like, not that either of the Clips carried each other, but like, you know, you can listen to one and then the other pivot and then it went back and forth. To carry the whole project in the way that he did, I feel like it just spoke to me a little bit more, only because, again, I'm not as familiar with Freddie Gibbs. So the more I listen to him, the more I go back and listen to his old work, and you can hear he's always been a great rapper, but then you can hear how he's even confined or improved his technique. Like certain things have gotten even more polished. The way he's able to lock in with the Alchemist, and it's just like, man, when he gets in that zone and he just locks in on a track, it's like, bro, this is incredible to fucking listen to. So, again, man, I added so many. I don't think there was one song that was skippable on the project at all. I have nothing negative to say about it, and to me, it was the best album I took away from the year. And I'm a super huge Freddie Gibbs fan now, man. Every project from the past I haven't heard and I go back and listen to, I'm like, bro, this is really good. Like, he's obviously gotten better, but this shit is impressive in itself. So shout out to Freddie Gibbs, man. I'm looking forward to the third one too.
I'm glad
to be fair,
To
be fair, for the audience, B is super consistent because he literally said that same exact thing with like that same explanation that he gave y'all just now, he said that to us when Freddie Gibbs album dropped. He was like, the only thing I put Freddie over the Clips is because Freddie by himself. He said that same thing. So, like, I got to give you credit for that. And it was a great album. So, yeah, for sure. Like, just consistency. I love that. So,
well, I'm glad this album made you go back and dive into his catalog and just appreciate how far he's come as an artist.
Bro, it's been we had an episode this year where I mentioned to y'all how I went back and listened. I can't remember if it was because of listening to Alfredo 2. I feel like this has been building for a while, and it just Alfredo 2 after that, it was a shift where it's like, bro, I gotta do a deep dive. And like the more I listen to his old work, and then I think Drew, you recommended some songs.
Bandana, the album you listened to. Yeah.
Huh?
You listened to the album Bandana that I sent.
Yeah, well, I think you recommended either a song off of that. Like, I just got.
And then it'll be so cute. Like, he'll send us tracks, y'all, and he'll be like, "Hey, I know y'all heard this before, but this my shit now." And it'll be some old Freddie. I'm like, dog, I love this shit. Like, right? Yeah.
It's like, man, I don't know where I was when this dropped, but I sure wish I knew. But even though I feel like I can enjoy it more because I'm older than what I was at this point, and we've had so many episodes discussing what goes into quality music, albums, project, what to listen to, what we're tired of. So all in all, man, and like we said, this is the year of the vets. Like Freddie Gibbs has been around for a while, but still is working on his craft, not dropping lazy shit, continues to strive for higher. And it's like, how can you not respect that? Like,
and he's a clown on Twitter too.
He is.
Hey, I was mentioning Cardi B and shit outside.
He's the male version of Cardi.
I talk about people not necessarily wanting to be in the spotlight. Musically, while that may be true on social media, Freddie Gibbs be goddamn everywhere.
He's having a great year, Lord. Wasn't it Gerard watched, or maybe you watched
his movie? He's
dipping into acting. Yeah,
I seen it.
I haven't watched the movie yet, but I actually heard it was very solid, so I need to.
I do too.
I think he's got some music that he dropped with certain projects as well. So
he does. It was a Spike Lee movie or something. Didn't he have he did the soundtrack or something?
He was on the soundtrack of the Spike Lee movie.
But
or
did A$AP Rocky do the soundtrack? I can't remember.
A$AP Rocky did the soundtrack.
That's what,
but A$AP Rocky was in the movie too. But yeah, he had his own movie too, where he was like, he went on a sabbatical and lived on the farm or whatever, so he can get like his mind back before he wrote an album, and he did really good. So, but my number one album is the Clips, easily. Like it's not even a question. You know, the Clips was the number one album. Like, I've been a Clips fan all my life. You know what I'm saying? So like I obviously, when Malice left the group to pursue his ministry, then I went on and followed Pusha T in his career. Malice came back, and did different spot appearances here, and then they came back and did a whole album with their best friend Pharrell, and you can tell like these three together know exactly what the fuck they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So like you knew that before when they put out their first albums, but now like as them as veterans, them like honing in their craft, iron sharpen iron, so like you could see this, like Pusha raps better when he's next to his brother. You know what I'm saying? He's an incredible rapper next to all these other niggas, but when he's next to his brother, you could see like the elite lyricism between both of them, because Malice is probably the best rapper in the world. You know what I'm saying? So like and then like you like
to your point, the reason I mentioned the one artist versus two, and we've always pointed out, even on classic tracks, when you have two people that aren't related, right? You'll hear one artist say, "Oh, I heard his verse, and I went back to redo my shit, so it was better, so I wasn't getting watched," right? That's kind of why I spoke to the one person versus two view, because it's like, when it's just you can't really get motivated by anybody else outdo. Like, it's you pushing yourself. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's why I kind of spoke to that. Such a great point.
And then like the way the album, the way their rollout is so nostalgic, because like we used to like the era that we grew up in, we got magazine articles, we got them coming on to like 106 in Park or Rap City and doing interviews, we got them like releasing singles first and then a video.
The only rappers we knew from Virginia.
They did all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? They laid this out and like really like laid down like birdseed so us to follow it instead of just dropping something and then walking away from it. They really like sold their album. And just like to go into specific records on the album, like Birds Don't Sing. As a person that lost both of their parents, listening to that shit, you can't help but feel everything that they felt, you know what I'm saying? Like, and think to yourself, like, what is a letter that I would have wrote to my parent, you know what I'm saying, to just dedicate to them. And they both got to write, you know, Pusha got to write to his mom, Malice got to write to his dad, you know what I'm saying, about their last moments with them. That is amazing creativity that only they can do, you know what I'm saying? Chains and Whips with Kendrick Lamar, POV with Tyler the Creator, you know what I'm saying? Ace Trumpets, All Things Considered, FICO with Stove God Cook. FICO might be the greatest hook this year. Like, FICO might be the greatest hook this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you know, Let God Son of My Chandeliers is the only nitpick I have because I wish Nas would have used the same beat instead of switching the beats up. And then By the Grace of God, which was like a late ad, is the greatest, like, it's one of the best, like, outros ever. You know what I'm saying? I think this was a perfectly crafted album. You know what I'm saying? We even got, you know, one of our personal favorites, Drew Abliver. We got to hear another verse from him, you know what I'm saying?
And
but like I said, like,
too.
Yes, like there was no skips on this album, and like it was a perfectly crafted album from three people that we know could do it, you know what I'm saying, that we didn't know if it would ever be done again. So like Let God Son of My is the best album 2025. They said they're gonna give us more, and I hope to hear more because like this makes the Clips one of the greatest duos of all time with this album. So
even if they don't, what a note to go out on, honestly.
Yo, 100%. Yeah. Oh, and another cherry on top, they're both late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
Like,
phenomenal.
Come on, man. Like,
it was Pharrell, yeah.
Yes.
Pharrell's like 51 or 2 or something like that?
So if Malice is 53, then Pharrell got to be like 53 or 54.
That's crazy.
You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, Pusha T is 48, 49. So, like, come on, man. Like, so.
The year of the vet.
Year of the vet. So.
To piggyback off Gerard, my number one Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out, the only 10 I gave out this year. I don't know how to follow that, honestly, because, like, this album, when it came out, I listened to it once, and I knew it was something special. And if an album can make you go back immediately after listening to hear it again, there's really something special about it. The first day this album came out, I played it back-to-back 4 times. Like, I just couldn't get enough. And I gave it every kind of listen you can think of. Like, I gave it 2 car listens. I gave it going to the grocery store listen. I gave it a headphone listen, a out of my speaker playing games listen. I gave it at work listen, you know, just every single situation it hits. And I feel like there's something special about albums like that. But, like, Gerard, to break it down, like, I've texted you personally about Birds Don't Sing. It hits.
Yeah.
Like, let me see. I'll share it on the pod. I've cried at that album like 3-4 times now.
Yeah, I cried at least twice. You know what I'm saying? Like just to like you said, like you're going to feel those feelings. Like you're going to like so.
Chains and Whips, phenomenal. Then I love the lore about this album when it came out too. Like hearing that Lenny Kravitz did the guitar hook on that, like phenomenal. Who would have thought? POV, one of the best Tyler verses, like I've heard in a while. So Be It might be my favorite track on the album. Just the way it feels like you're driving through Saudi Arabia, and I've never been there. It just it feels like I'm just draped out in some drip and everything. Got chains on, the top's down, and just nodding my head, just in great weather. Ace Trumpet singles good. All Things Considered is fire. Mike Tyson Blow to the Face, I think, is one of the coolest tracks on it. Just like the things we talk in production, Gerard, when an album makes you feel something, when a song makes you feel something, like the dips in the beat just make you feel like a vibe through your body in that song, and it makes you just want to bob along. Well, I can't even remember the EBIDTA.
Oh,
you know what it stands for. I can't remember it though. Fired. FICO. There's so many days I go around just, you don't know what I know.
I know,
just,
man.
It's the year too of the vets, but it's also the year of the catchy choruses. I feel like this is the year where I've really learned these songs that I really like this year. Instead of going in here one out the other, I never hear the album again. You know, it's sadly that's what a lot of it is these days. Inglorious Bastards fire because we got to hear Ab Live. So Far Ahead's good. Like I agree. The only nitpick is the Nas, add-in. But I will agree with you. By the Grace of God's the best outro. One probably top 10 I'd ever say.
Yeah.
One of the best out. It's just the chorus and like the choir coming in, the production. Pharrell really did his thing when you listen to this album.
Yes.
The editing is spot on. Like I said, the little dips in the frequencies and all that, you can really hear it, especially if you give it a headphone listen. Like I can't. It's waves and like the sonics that we love and the nerdy shit we love in production, but it's top tier. Can't get enough of it. I'm currently looking for this album on vinyl right now, so want to add it to the collection.
Me too.
I'm a little bummed I didn't get to see him in concert, but there's always next time. So the other thing I liked what you said is that during that drought after Till the Casket dropped, so Malice was done, Pusha T really held it down, and you got to give him credit now for keeping it going, like what we loved about the clips. You get little hints here and there that they're going to drop an album one day. It never happens. So when it finally came out, it was like a treat for us. It was like Christmas in the summer. And to me, I re-listened to it again yesterday. It was my last one because I knew it was still number one. It hits every single time you listen to it. So there's something special about this album this year.
Yeah, it really did. That album did a lot for me, and I think it did for a lot of hip hop fans. So yeah.
You're the vet, baby. That was a great top 10. Like I said, I look forward to this day every single year, especially because there's never anything to listen to these 2 weeks prior. So I started, 10 days ago, I started my journey of re-listening and ranking them all. It's fun to do. But just to share the bottom of my list for this year, I've listened to 44 albums this year, and the one at the very bottom was ESTG's "I Ain't Feeling You," and it's the one I put in the chat that day. It's just the same drum pattern, 12 tracks in a row.
But I'm glad that made up for him, because I saw that same shit and I was like, I don't even know why he released that and then released My World, and My World is way better. So why even?
Yeah. I got that, Gunna, the last one, and ASAP Ferg's flip phone shawty it was terrible, dude. I put it in the chat that day. It was so bad. It's just, And then I put an album I got to give some love to that I heard this year was that IDK, as I talked about earlier in the year.
Oh, yes. Forgot to mention that. Brother. Yes, IDK's album was amazing, too. So if y'all haven't listened to the release
of it, though, still, to this day. Yeah. I don't get how, because, half of it came out in 2024, and then the other half came out this year, but half of it was combined. It's weird how it's put together.
Yeah, it's weird. But it was a dope album.
It would have been in my top 10. I'll say that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then as far as other categories of alternative music, the one I put the other day in the chat, Turnstile, Never Enough, might be my favorite alternative album of the year. It's It's a 10 out of 10 rock album.
Yeah, if I had to put another genre, it would be either I think two. Leon Thomas Folks, which one, and then the second one will be El Mine. Let me see.
Yeah, I never heard that one yet.
What was the name of his album? It was called Heat the Streets. So El Mine, Heat the Streets, and Leon Thomas Folks. Those two albums. If we're going outside of the hip hop realm, then those two albums is what I would recommend. So
Mutt was last year, 2024.
Mutt was last year, yeah.
Gotcha. I say because that's been making the rounds still this year.
Folks was much more. I want to say kind of like rock leaning. He used a lot more of the electric guitar on Folks. But yeah, it was still a dope album. So yeah, Folks and Heat the Streets by El Mine. So.
And the last one I got to give a nod to. B talked about it before, is Kid Cudi's Free album, which it's one of the most unique albums I've heard, and it's classical pop tradition where hook verse, bridge, hook out. Every single song's like that, but he does such a good job at it, and it's different from him. I was so burned out on Cudi for a while, so it's like a breath of fresh air for him.
That's dope. Yeah, I hadn't heard it yet, but y'all both speak highly of it, so yeah.
It's catchy. It's very catchy. And that's all I got for the year. It's been a very good year. It's been disappointing in some parts as well. With the
it's because the lulls, you know what I'm saying?
Lulls.
Like,
yeah,
the beginning of the year wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. And the beginning of the year, honestly, I was still listening to GNX. You know, up until the clips came out. And then, well, not really the clips. No, I was listening to GNX, and then Ray Vaughn came out, and then the clips came out.
That took
and
over.
Then I was listening to those 3 albums for a very long time, so.
For a long while. There were other ones sprinkled in there that were like okay, but like looking at the bottom of my list right now, like BG freedom of speech, like dude, dog shit. Like, who gives a fuck? Tyga's NSF,
Tyga,
Lil Baby's Wham, like come on, like all these guys we talked about at the beginning of the year, like just.
I think that was the most disappointing, because of the type of artist that Baby is. You know what I'm saying? You got higher expectations for him, and that leans into the to what B was saying about Cardi B. If Baby would have hit that album out the park, we wouldn't be talking about him like this. We would be saying like this is the type of artist he's supposed to be. Could have been an
honorable mention, honestly.
Yeah, but because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? Now we got to say, yo, what's going on with this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
You know, so.
Sorry, fellas.
No, you're good.
No, I heard the last thing I heard you say, Drew, was that everybody had very impressive lists. I agree. Did I miss anything else that you had mentioned after that?
We were talking about like other nominations. Like I said, I listened to 44 albums. The very bottom on my list was ESTG's I Ain't Feeling You and Gunna, The Last One, and ASAP Ferg's Flip Phone Shawty. Those are the bottom 3. But like, it don't. You're wasting your time. But then Gerard and I were talking about the IDK album that came out, and initially it came out in 2024. I heard it this year, and then the second half of the album came out this year. So I was like, we didn't know how to rank it because I talked about it earlier in the year, if it counted for this year or last, and I just put it in the categories of last year's albums that I'm late to. So, and then I mentioned Kid Cudi's Free album, which I need Gerard to listen to it now because it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it now.
That was on my honorable mentions list, so I agree with you.
I didn't fully consider it hip hop, so I put it in like the pop alternative category.
It's funny you mention that because the album I listened to the most this year was the Sexy Songs for You, but I looked at a few lists that other people made just for their general albums, and it was on there, but something about putting that album on a hip hop, it just didn't.
That's
feel
not a
right.
hip hop album.
And I didn't want to. Yeah. I didn't want to seem like I was like giving extra credit to my GOAT, so I'm like,
so glad you didn't.
I'm like, it just don't feel right, but I do. Admittedly, that's the album I listen to more than any others. Waiting on the next album, but I will say, like I told y'all previously, man, the stuff I've been hearing from my GOAT, it makes me a little sad, man. So
he's slacking right now.
I wanted us to talk about this so we can get into this topic. I hate like using topics from outside world, but I heard Jim Jones talk on his podcast that he hate that the beef between between Kendrick and Drake happened because now people don't listen to Drake. Drake dropped 50 songs since that beef ended.
That's crazy.
None of them has caught.
Has it been actual 50?
Yeah, damn. 48. It's been 48. 48 Jeez. Songs since really? I hate people using the battle as an excuse instead of just looking within yourself and saying that maybe you are a dick rider, you know what I'm saying, and you can't find music for yourself, like because if it was a song like that you liked about Drake, like Nokia came out, that's why you ain't bigging up Nokia. Sexy Songs for You came out this year. Why you ain't find no shit on there to like if that's the case, instead of saying like, oh, because he went through this other bullshit that taints anything. No, good music is good music. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still like the cream will rise to the top. At this point right now, like just like anybody, you can't be hot forever. So like that's what's going on right now. Drake just needs to find something, you know what I'm saying, to get him back into the spotlight. This ain't got shit to do with a beef, and I think people making excuses for him, and he doesn't need anyone making excuses for him. That's the shit that pissed me off about all of these conversations. Like they feel like they gotta like coddle him, and like y'all said he was the best artist for the last 15 years, and what are you coddling him for? What are you making excuses for him for? He released 48 songs and none of them shit's caught. Like, so that's something he got to go back to the drawing board. Like, so that shit pissed me off, bro. Like, I just hate that they making that shit something out of nothing. So
I think I didn't hear Jim Jones say that. I think the only thing I can understand from that perspective is the takeaway of like Drake, like you said, Drake has been high for X amount of years, so now it's like, oh, okay, he took an L. Drake is old news, so like I go out my way to not listen to him. I don't know if that was his takeaway per se, but I think you do make a good point. And I think the biggest thing I've noticed as I've taken a step back and thinking about some of the things that you said, Gerard, it's like, okay, we know he's close to or was at one point to breaking the Michael Jackson or the most number ones, and it seems like he's almost hunting. Taking this,
like he's hunting for a hit or something like that.
Not necessarily hunting for it. Well, yes and no. He's hunting for a hit, but also at the same time, he's trying to go about it in like a nonchalant way because he has this like, I don't even have to try to make a hit. But at the same time, if you're being real and you know you take an L out like that on a public platform, my problem is I've always appreciated Drake being vulnerable and having times of being authentic. And it feels like everything since the beef is trying to hold on so desperately to something where it's like, bro, like everybody just wants to hear your actual takeaway from all this shit happening. Like, it's like the can't lose mentality or I can never take an L. He's trying so hard to stick to that. And it's like, bro, like you can pivot from that and just start making other shit. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, maybe like, we all know those old athletes that can't say goodbye to like yesterday. Yeah. It's like, bro, it's okay to transition of being a coach to being like, you don't have to, like, you can do more than what this one thing that defines you. Like, I think when you get, and we've talked about it, when you get to a certain level of success, who can be that person be like, bro, this ain't it? Like, who's going to be, and especially if you just went through a beef where everybody on the outside, it was y'all and y'all was locked in. Okay, cool. Is Chubbs gonna be the motherfucker be like, bro?
But I feel like but that's the issue that I be having, B, is that you're right. Not anybody can say this ain't it. But I also don't need all you groupies telling him that it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. Like
that's true. Like, who's gonna be like we mentioned with the Diddy documentary, right? Everybody's around and everything is good when the money's flowing in. Yeah. But only certain people spoke up or told or spoke to what wasn't okay when the money's flowing. So if you have that same element and that same level of stardom success, who would be that person? I can think of 40 maybe, but like I don't even think based on what we've seen, he hasn't really been working with 40. Yeah. At 40's kind of, I don't know if his health is a certain level, but I don't know. It could only be somebody within that group, but at the same time, who's gonna be that person to do it? Like, it ain't gonna be Party Next Door. Like, who is gonna be a person like Drake?
I think you're right. I think, but also, I think there's a sense of maturity that you have to say that within yourself. Drake is.
I mean, if you hear all the shit, I didn't know it was that level of songs he's released, but you hear, okay, I'm gonna try this. Okay, I'm gonna drop this, and it's like, bro. This shit, we can see through this, bro. And that's the positives I talked about from the beef, how everybody ain't dropping like they was beforehand. We looking at the quality much different than we were. Okay, Dre, if you are the hit maker X, Y, and Z, even Jermaine Dupri has alluded to it.
Yeah.
Come back with hits, like quality hits, not the, was it Tootsie Slide type shit? Like, no, bro, you took an L in front of the world. How do you really feel about that shit?
Yeah.
You can keep going on with this narrative of, oh, I don't lose. Oh, I'm coming back with more. Nah, bro, we really don't want to hear that shit. Like, how did you actually feel about that?
Yeah.
Like, how did you handle – it ain't many people that can say they took a public L in that type of way. Like, what truly – like, what was your grounding from that? Like, what was your takeaway? How do you feel about all these motherfuckers that switched up on you and not, oh, you switched up on me, it's fuck you now? No, like –
I wish you would listen to people like you and not people like academics.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you trust in fucking academics, what do you think he's going to guide you to? Like, like I don't understand. But then again, it's like, okay, it's easy to reach out to people but like, how can you? It's only a handful of people that have touched this level. Like, you're not going to talk to Jay-Z. You're not going to talk to Kanye. Like, but you need to talk to somebody because, nah, man, we can see through this shit. Everything we fell in love with you for we searching for that, but we not be able to get that right now because it's like a fallacy. It's like you trying so hard to prove something we all know isn't true, and it's like, man, we just want to hear the real.
It's not just him. I feel that way about a lot of artists. Like a lot of these at the bottom of my list this year. You've said it before on the pod. It's like we've heard about the money, we've heard about the cars, we've heard about the girls, and you were like, "There's got to be something else that you do in life, not just that." Like, please tap into it. Whatever the fuck it is, just tell us.
Yeah,
like,
but that's the same shit. Like when you hear Thug and 21 talk about fuck the streets, it's because like and me and Kier was talking about this the other day in the car. These niggas been using hip hop as a vehicle, as a hustle to make money so much that now people are holding them accountable to actually make good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now since like now you having a hard time struggling with that, now you want to blame it on other shit. It's like, no, you have to start taking accountability for why you're not being the artist that you were before.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, Drew, it's a lot of people going through this. Like, but I hate the reason I was brought this up is not to bang on Drake or anybody else. It's the people that's like helping like to coddle these people. It's Jim Jones saying this is the reason. Like, bro, that's not it. Like, tell the truth. You can tell the truth, man. Like, it's okay. Like, so yeah.
And I think when you look at the world, when you take a step back, this isn't even specific to music. Like social media, everybody's painting these pictures, these illusions, but I think we're getting to a point where you can see past the fake and you're just searching. I'm gonna speak for myself. You're searching for authenticity. Like, you're searching for depth. Like, I find myself reading certain books, and not to say I'm always gonna listen to certain songs that don't talk about shit. That's just straight bullshit. There's a time and a place for everything. But I guess where I struggle is as I find myself in life moving past certain things or enforcing boundaries or cleansing certain things, moving past certain people in my life. It's like, okay, my favorite artist, I'm looking for that same depth, that same like, bro, you're a father, bro, like you have all these investments, shit. We all talked about the Clips album being top 2 or top 1. What did they talk about? Investments, grief, like fatherhood, like, bro, we want to hear some shit that's elevated because at a certain point, going to the club, renting that bitch out, going home with women, we all know at a certain point you can only do that.
Talk about that though in a sophisticated way about going to the club and shit. You know,
well, not like, just that, bro. It's like
you buy watches, I buy collections, shit like that. It's little subtle shit that they do.
At a certain point, we all know that shit does not fulfill you as a person. Right. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care. Like, it's a certain point you're gonna look in the mirror, you're gonna realize all the people around you don't really fuck with you, which again, we've seen that with the beef. Just speak to that. Like, hit us with the real, but no, I can't. Like you said, Drew, I had to look in the mirror and I realized, like, bro, I can be loyal to my favorite artist while also holding him accountable and saying a lot of shit. I was just talking to Mike, Drew, your cousin. Like, after we joked about what you texted me, how you asked me, after he said he loved Drake. But I looked at him and told him after we talked about how that's my GOAT, I'm like, but bro, as much as we keep hearing about Iceman, the shit that I'm hearing, a lot of it sounds like ass. And I don't, I'm hoping that's not what because I told y'all when some sexy songs for you drop, we had kind of expectations. Some of the beef will be alluded to in the album. It was completely different R&B, right? I told y'all when that album dropped, Gerard, you said I'm consistent. The next project he drops by himself, I expect to hear how he followed up from the beef, how he felt about, I want to hear depth. And from what I'm hearing, I ain't heard nothing like that. And I haven't liked or enjoyed, y'all haven't seen me post anything about Drake, about any of these new songs. It's like, bro, this not it. Like, I'm not searching for this shit, and I'm not defending this shit. Ass is ass. I don't give a fuck. Like, if it's my GOAT, if it's somebody I ain't never heard, and we talking about the stuff we want to hear, Gerard, pray for me. Chris Patrick, we've already mentioned it. Like, he talked about real shit. Yeah. That's all we looking for. Like, we ain't looking for no different formulas. X, Y, no, like, no. We looking for depth. We looking for quality. Like, the real shit is going to be here. Like the Drake song always said, real shit is going to last. All the other shit here today, gone tomorrow. Like, and I have nothing else to say beyond that. Like, I'm looking to hear the real shit and just growth, I guess, because, I need to hear something new. I just do. So, whether it's Jim Jones, whether it's anybody else, like, and I hope he can find that person that can speak to him, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I know if his ass, I will be the first to say in this fade, this ain't it. I can't get G with this shit.
Yeah. In conclusion, Jim Jones, stop the bullshit. All right. I just wanted to mention that pissed me off a little bit.
And also shout out to 50 Cent, because shout out to him for making sure that the landlord got paid while they all joked
You crazy. You are stupid.
And say that it wasn't the truth. Look, man, that's my biggest thing, Gerard. When you look at the podcast, you got all these guys that have done so much and have had these careers, but yet we see this, and I'm not speaking to them, but like, they all get on the show. They all got designer, blah, blah, blah. But you mean to tell me you're not taking care of your rent? Like,
you're not paying your bills.
Speaking to those illusions, we got all this jewelry, ice, blah, blah, blah. We all talking about getting money. But my man's that owns the establishment where y'all recording got to track y'all down to get paid. Whether that's true or not. But one thing I can say about 50, the man don't lie. The man had recordings that sound mighty convincing that somebody wasn't paying up, and all of a sudden shit changed, and now we joke about it. We got to do better. We got all these fucking OGs on these podcasts, and all they do is talk about rumors, gossip, talk about young people's relationship. Where the fuck do they, like, what happened to the recipes, bro? Like, we could be doing so much better with these platforms, man. And I hope in 2026 we start to see that, because a lot of these older people that should be giving game, reaching down, lifting people up, they just moving corny. And I just got to be real.
Hi. It's Cassidy. That's twice and twice. Or you can't do that and
Talk right.
I love every time we see her. She is like ready to go and
ready.
Like a movie star.
Like she's just been waiting by Gerard's knee
Yeah.
or something.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Cass.
Good.
How you doing?
I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm fine.
How was your Christmas?
Happy Christmas too.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Yes.
What was your
What'd you
favorite
get?
gift? What was your favorite gift that you got?
Bluey. All the Blueys. So I like Peppa Pig and Bluey.
Poppy got some Bluey too.
That is
And
really
Barbie
adorable.
too. I did a Barbie, so I watched Barbie. Then Barbie was so good.
Oh,
I'm glad you like it.
Barbie
we're glad you
20
like that.
days.
Training
20
Day.
days.
She watched Training. Gerard, you let her watch Training Day?
I said, and Cousin Poppy, because I have my friend Cousin Poppy.
Oh, she misses you.
Oh,
She visited it.
I'll bring her by soon and you guys can play.
Okay. Then I can do this like this and try. Bye.
Bye, Cass.
adorable.
Gerard, you let her watch Training Day?
No.
she said something about Training Day.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, how funny. Dry, you couldn't hear it, but you was like, he asked that while she had the headphones on, so I was rolling. But speaking of, I think this is a good time to talk about what we've been watching, if you are cool with it.
Yeah.
Well, Drew, I let you know that you inspired me to start back up a show as you started watching, what was it? Lioness, thank you. So I picked back up on Tulsa King.
Yeah.
And I've since finished that, as it's now 3 seasons. So I watched all the way through, including the finale. If y'all haven't yet, highly recommend it. Actually, it appears they're setting up a spinoff, because towards the later episodes, they actually have Samuel L. Jackson make an appearance. So apparently he's going to get a spinoff in his own show.
He got his own spinoff, yep.
So I like the way that they developed that character. Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel L. Jackson, so he's going to always be the same. So I've been watching that, and then I actually need to go back and start back up with Lioness Season 2, because I never completed it. So again, thank you, Drew, for sharing that you started that. I actually watched a movie that I used to always see the promotion for, never saw it in full, but I watched Tower Heist. Y'all seen that movie before?
I never have, but I've heard about it.
I remember seeing like that promoted for a drop, but I never watched it. Finally,
that's the Eddie Murphy movie, right?
Yup, Eddie Murphy, Ben Stiller. Really, it's not like a groundbreaking movie, but it was very, very solid. So I'm finally glad I know what it was about. Been watching a lot of wrestling, Drew. Watched Royal Rumble. from 2002.
Ooh.
Triple H won it, but it was so good. At a certain point, I think Stone Cold might have been like number 20 or something like that. But at a certain point, they was whooping each other ass, but then they would whoop whoever's ass it was that came into the ring with them to throw them out just so they could get back to whooping each other's ass. So
that's
great
good TV.
Royal Rumble. And then the last thing I have here is Mel Blanc, who is the voice behind a lot of the classic Looney Tune characters.
Oh, yeah.
But it was an interview on YouTube from November 23rd, 1982, where he literally, like, it's him and an analyst from the radio or from the news channel, and literally he goes down and does every freaking character. It's like, bro, Bugs Bunny, like all the like Daffy Duck, and it's like, how do you even determine you can do all of these different voices to not just make money, but I mean, look at what Looney Tunes is at this point in time. And it's all based mainly on one person doing these different voices. Like,
that's crazy.
Bro, the level of talent, like, I was blown away. So that wraps up everything that I've watched. But yeah, I definitely would recommend anybody checking out Mel Blanc because the guy is incredible. Like, I'm blown away.
Yeah. So I mean, it was Christmas before the last we recorded. So we watched some Christmas movies. We watched Gremlins. We watched Almost Christmas, Dreamgirls, Jingle All the Way. We restarted. I don't know if y'all watched this series before on HBO. It's called Mad Men.
Yeah.
So yeah,
never watched.
Bro, I love that fucking show. We're watching that right now, bro. Like I'm loving this show. So we're watching that. We get into our reality stuff. So we're watching it's a reality series called Ready to Love. So their show is in Detroit now. So we watching a whole bunch of people from Detroit trying to find love in the city and stuff like that. So we watching that. We start rewatching The Pit because the new season starts next week. Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine. I finished Welcome to Dairy, but I feel like I talked to y'all about that already. But I don't know.
If you said you finished or not.
Yeah, so we finished Welcome to Dairy, which is fire. So like if y'all haven't seen, if you into it in that universe, definitely watch Welcome to Dairy. It'll give you a greater insight to how that universe works and how that whatever it is, I don't know, that entity, whatever it is, how he moves through different time things, and that shit crazy as fuck. So definitely Welcome to Dairy. And then also we finished Stranger Things. The new episode's supposed to come out tonight, yeah, to end up the series. So, and that's fire as fuck too. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Oh no, it is tomorrow because they want to start with their ratings and shareholders for the new year. I forgot. It's like a big marketing thing. Yeah.
So tomorrow. So
yeah, I completely gave up on that show after season 3. Like, I don't even care if there's spoilers or anything. We've been watching a show on Hulu. It's like a cop show. It's called like Police Ozarks, where it's like cops but in the Ozarks area. So that's been entertaining. Started the first episode of season 2 of Fallout last night, which I can't get enough of that show now. It's amazing. What is the big one? Lioness, we're in the middle of season 2. We're trying to savor it a little bit. I know the season 3 comes out next year, so I don't want to burn through it too quick because I'm really enjoying it. I feel like there's a big one, but I can't remember that we're watching.
When you'll remember as soon as we stop.
Yeah, and I'll text it.
Like,
Mariah started watching Nurse Jackie, and she's seen it a bunch before, but she's rewatching it right now.
Bro, I love that show too. Yeah.
I watched an episode with her. I was like, it's okay to me. It's like it's made.
So, but you gotta binge it. Like you gotta watch it, keep up with it, and then you'll start feeling away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then obviously the Chappelle stand up. That was.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
I watched that too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
Pete?
I started and fell asleep.
Oh man,
I was watching it late, but it was off to a great start.
We'll talk about it next time because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
like I just said, he is a master of taking a joke and just putting it in the beginning. In the beginning, when he says the jokes, they're kind of funny. When he brings it back, it's hilarious at that point.
Yes,
and he does it at least twice in this one, so very good. And he's a master storyteller, like
incredible storyteller. Yes. Yeah.
It could be it could be the most basic story, but I guarantee you'll learn something, and he'll find a way to throw some jokes into it and make it hilarious.
That shit about Nipsey was amazing.
Dude, I was in tears almost. So sad. And then about the who is the black boxer? I can't.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson. Yeah. He tells a great story about that, dude. Yeah. And dude, it's like there's a point in it where he looked at the audience like, "Am I boring you guys?" And they're like, "No, keep going."
Right.
So yeah, he's just a master storyteller. He's perfect at his craft.
Yeah, he is.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's all we've been watching.
The last thing I had here was just some notes from the NFL, some quick nuggets here, and actually to start off, Dry, your boy, with 7 catches in the first half. A few games ago, Trey McBride had over 100 catches for the season. Became the first tight end in NFL history with consecutive 100-plus catch seasons.
That's crazy.
McBride and Travis Kelce, who did 3 times but never back-to-back. So Travis Kelce did it in 2018, 2020, and 2022. But they are now the only tight ends to ever have more than one 100-plus catch campaign. So
that's crazy.
Again, when you mention him being one of your favorites, I can see why. Max Brosmer is the only NFL QB in the Super Bowl era to play an entire game and finish with under 70 passing yards and be sacked 7+ times and yet still win. So when I say the Lions ruined my Christmas, you can clearly see why. And lastly, Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen is now the only first-year head coach in NFL history to win 12+ games after taking over a team that had 4 or fewer wins the prior season. So I feel, as we mentioned, this season being weird as hell, I still don't quite fully understand how, but one thing I got to do is give credit for that turnaround. So that's the last note I had here in my notes. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to touch upon before we wrap up for not just the year, but our top 10 albums of the year?
What's your Super Bowl predictions right now? As it is right now. It's honestly terrible this year. I know.
Honestly, that's a great question because usually there's a team where you're like, yeah, they got it. But shit, even the Rams, the way that they just struggle with the Falcons, it's like
no one's a guarantee.
You never know. You would think this may be the year for the Bills, but I've watched many Bills games this year, and they've struggled with teams they should not be struggling with.
You think Philly, but they don't look incredible either. But
Jalen Hurts did not complete a pass in the second half. I don't know how that's humanly possible for a quarterback in the NFL, but
I like the Patriots.
I do too.
Yeah. Drake
AFC's tough though.
Will be MVP.
Yeah. I also like the Broncos. So there
we go.
I'm not gonna lie, and Drew, I don't want to slander your boy. There's something about the Broncos I can't. They've gotten a lot of, how last year.
I know, like the Chiefs, I know. But they still get the wins, though.
But they getting the job done. So, Gerard,
I wouldn't say it's bailout flags either that they're getting. They're just winning close, tight games.
But there's nobody in the NFC that I have faith in. Like, I feel like they all can beat each other. Like, they all can beat each other. Like,
who I want to see? Just for a rematch purposes, is Broncos Seahawks. That's who I want, and it's.
I
can't even guarantee. I don't either. I don't trust anybody in the NFC. I agree.
About Sam Darnold, man, he looks super mid in the last game I just watched.
K9 looks broken down already.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I've never seen a team use their RB1 as if he's like the RB2 or RB3.
Crazy.
The way they feature Charbonnet, even though K9 had a great game the last week.
Yep. He was ass before that.
They basically, he would get a run and run for 10 or 15 yards to start the drive out. Then would immediately go to the bench and Charbonnet comes in and plays for the rest of the drive. It's like, bro, this is so weird. But no, I mean, Drew, you asked. The Seahawks are number 1. I don't trust them, as Gerard just said. The Bears are number 2. Dude, Caleb Williams has looked good at certain moments. Other moments, it's like, why the fuck?
Can't trust him.
He absolutely lost that game to the Niners. He lost that game.
He
lost that game. So
then you got Philly at number 3. I think right now the Panthers are possibly number 4. But who trusts them?
They have the tiebreaker over the Buccaneers still, which is crazy.
They got to play the Bucs.
Yeah.
Bro, the 49ers, I mean, they look good offensively, but defensively they can't stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Rams, and then you got the Packers at 7. And the Packers, Jordan Love, I think, is still dealing with a concussion right now, but Yeah,
So
I
weird.
honestly, looking at the NFC, I don't see a team where it's like, man, I would not want to play them.
Yeah.
Like,
those games are going to be fun to watch though in the playoffs.
yeah. And then
They're
in the
gonna be
AFC,
beating
you
each
got the
other to
Broncos
death.
that
Like,
won.
right? Like,
You got
The
actually,
Niners too though. Niners,
Gerard,
okay,
you
so
mentioned
the
the
Niners are the
Patriots.
only team that I can see actually making it to the Super Bowl.
they have the experience.
Yeah.
I mean, if for whatever reason, I know Jalen Hurts just looked like ass in the second half last week, but for some reason, if he gets to the Super Bowl, he looks like a completely different quarterback. So I'm not going to rule him out just yet because they still got the defense. They still got Saquon Barkley.
Right.
If for whatever reason Jalen Hurts can turn it on from a talent perspective, it's not like you looking forward to playing Philly. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
that's true.
I mean, I guess that would be the team in the NFC for
in
me.
Philly
but
too.
the 49ers are right there. The Rams are cooking. They have the defense, the offense too, the running game.
Yep.
But I don't know. Hey, Stafford, he's starting to show some glimpses of some
Mr. Pick
regression.
6.
So, but the one team I want to mention is actually the Texans.
Yeah.
I feel like when you have a
They
defensive
got a
front
sneaky
four like
chance.
that,
They got a
Yeah.
Ravens
Like,
2000
bro,
defense.
if you can just rush forward and get that much pressure
Mm-hmm.
consistently, have your 7 people behind, like.
Yeah.
So from a defensive perspective, and then as CJ continues to get more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
Nico Collins is looking good. I think is it Higgins is starting to look
Yeah,
good.
Jaden
Like,
Higgins.
and then you got
I wanted the Lions to draft him. I just
Man.
knew it,
No,
bro.
you
Like,
were on it, Gerard. So
yeah.
I think the Texans, honestly, and I love me some Drake May. I'm very impressed by him, but the Texans, from looking at all these teams, is a one team. Hey, as a quarterback, you don't want to face them because you know they're gonna be whooping your ass all game. So
Yeah,
that's
but can
probably
they
the
play in
sleeper team.
Buffalo or New England? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Can Buffalo play in Buffalo? Like, what the fuck? like
Man, Josh Allen is so weird at the end of the years. You never know what you're gonna get.
Bro, he can look like Jesus one week, and then he
Man.
can look like
Shit, you could just say it.
completely different. Like they've struggled a few games with teams they should not have been struggling against. It's like
They should have beat the Eagles, honestly.
they should have beat the Eagles, yeah. But
Yep.
that's cool. The Patriots get
Yeah.
the number 1 seed. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. Like, so,
no, I think that's a great question, Drew. But yeah, no, my team right now, if I had to pick one, I'll probably rolling with the Texans. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When you got
if I had to
defense
pick
like
one,
that,
I'm rolling
man,
with the Patriots. I'm rolling with the
Broncos,
Patriots.
let's ride.
So look, all AFC, all AFC. Like,
It just feels like it's
I
that
feel
kind of
it,
year for the
man.
AFC.
Everybody be pissed.
Man,
Well, great
watch,
question, Drew.
watch the
Great-
Packers win the Super Bowl.
oh god, I'd be sick to my stomach.
Look, no, if that happens, no, hell no. But I really enjoyed recording this episode with y'all. I've enjoyed all the episodes we recorded this year. I hope our listeners have enjoyed listening to us and enjoyed listening to this episode. But we want to hear y'all feedback too. What do y'all disagree, agree? What y'all rank as a top project to drop this year in hip hop? But no, I really enjoyed this as always with y'all fellas. And until the next time, this has been another episode of True Hip Hop Senseis and Casual. And y'all be easy.
One.
Take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. My word for the year 2026 is prosperity in all ways. So I hope everybody rises and prospers this year. So.
Oh, real fast, B. Real fast. Gerard, did you watch that Matt Rife stand up, the crowd control one?
No,
the
I
Christmas
didn't.
one? Okay.
I forgot to. I'm about
Share
to
that
actually
back.
do that right now. I'm about to do that right now.
I was gonna make a joke from it, but it'll make sense next week.
All right.
All right. Love you guys.
Till next
All
time,
right.
man.
Love y'all boys.